Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Heliopsychosis podcast. This is your host Vikka Draziv, guys. Welcome to the show. Or I can say, welcome to the After Effects, not of Adobe Premiere, After Effects, right? The After Effects of the final fraud, right? So where am I today? Where you guys think I am today, right? Maybe I just went a little bit more ahead of the this place where they went, right? The Union Glacier. So you see behind me, you can see the ice, you can see real terrain, clear water, warm water with ice, right? Maybe this is a place which is extra land, right? Many people don't want to believe of the possibility of extra land. This is no CGI, but this is not the moment to go inside this. This is for much more ahead. So we are here today to see this seems not very legit, right? So the people have been writing a lot of comments about that we guys don't know about the 360 camera and the stitching and the pattern and the design and the embroidery, right? So yeah, we will get into that and we have some amazing things to share. And in the second part, we might also do some revelation, right? And the lines will be opening soon as we share a few things. So get prepared and do jump in if you have things to share because today we're going to be skinning this thing more deep. So let's go and say hello to my co-host and brother all the way from New York, Gene Elliott. How are you, Gene?
Hey guys, what's up, Vika? Doing good, bro. Um, yeah, had a good, interesting week, I guess. Where are you today over there? What part of Antarctica you at, bro? Hey, I want to point something out. They got us all concentrated right in this little area here, right? And look at all that big circle we're ignoring. Yeah, there could be a lot of places over there that doesn't have the ice that they claim. So who knows? We're not allowed to go there. They keep us, what is it, like 1,600 or 1,400 miles away from the 80th parallel. So we're not getting anywhere near it. And the places we're allowed to go to are very controlled little places. Like we say, it's like going to Florida. It's like going to Miami and saying, yeah, I saw the United States. Same thing. So, yeah, this unfolded very like in a peculiar way. So, and personally, I'm glad I didn't jump on any decisions right away. But the more things unfold and the more things get revealed, and the more we look at stuff, um, the harder it is to defend any of this experiment they had there. It really is. So, I don't know where I'm on the fence anymore, though. I'm not sure about that fence. So, anyway, guys, looking forward to another great show, Vika. I was really surprised last week. I hardly did anything online this week. I was busy. Wasn't feeling too great. I missed a couple days sleep. I'm like a little shot right now. I'm a little spent, but I'm looking forward to what you got today, bro. So, hey, welcome everybody in the chat. How's everybody doing? Thanks for coming back. And if it's your first time here, welcome. You guys in the chat are a large portion of how the show goes. You know that, right? And we really want to thank you guys because for me personally, and this might be for other people, if the chat's not cool, I'm like, I don't want to hang out there no more too much, But if the chat's cool and everybody's kind of friendly, and not just you know in an echo chamber. That's not what I'm talking about. But if it's friendly and a reasonable conversation, it's you guys that really make the channel. So, thank you all so much for hanging out, coming back, and acting like real humans in this chat we have going on these shows that we're doing for you guys. So, thank you all very much. So, yeah,
We
what
don't
do you
have,
got?
brother.
What's that?
We don't have budget for the bots, right? So we have real people. So absolutely, you people rock, uh, right? So yeah, absolutely. Things going crazy day by day. As you say, we tried from our very beginning to be very neutral on this about well how even the things were coming out, but there comes a point where the things are evolving in a way that you just say, right, man, no, even if the people want to defend this, it's becoming impossible because it's just endless. Let's say hello to our brother Keith. How is TikTok still alive?
Yeah, Trump saved it. Didn't you hear? I mean, Donald Trump is God now. He saved TikTok, so we can all go. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm only going to hang out a few minutes. I got my kids with me. We're going to have to cruise, but I'll say this about the fake experiment, is what I'm calling it. For one, which I've said before, you really expect me to believe that a bunch of YouTube shills that get propped up by Google and YouTube to defend the globe, that they're the ones that finally got a 24-hour sun, not an astrophysicist, not an astronomer, not a college or a university, none of the government camps that are down there. And there's a lot of government offices allegedly in Antarctica. So none of them produced a 24-hour sun, but YouTube globe zealots produced a 24-hour sun. No, I'm not buying it. Whatever they saw, if it was real and not fake, then there's going to be an explanation for that. But I'm thinking it was fake. It was not natural. It was artificial. And I think more and more is coming out. The more time goes by, there seems to be more and more red flags on the field. So whether were they there? I think they were probably there. Did they fake it somehow? Yeah, I think they probably did. Time will tell. We'll see. But in the meantime, the Antikythera mechanism has never been wrong. In the meantime, the natural physics of water is still to be level on its surface. In the meantime, the perfect repeating patterns of the heavenly luminaries over our heads, including the star trails showing one motion only, not four motions from a spinning wet rock in outer space, that's still what we can observe tonight. So the mountain of evidence that we have for flat Earth does not go away because some YouTube shills allegedly filmed a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. From my understanding, my research, and all of the ancient cosmologies, the sun, the moon, the planets, and the fixed constellations all move over a flat and stationary surface around our magnetic center, and there is no 24-hour sun over a small geographical location in the Antarctic. So that's where I stand today. I'm going to double down on the Gleason's map, that it's still the best map, the most accurate map that we have. And the mountain of evidence that I stand on, it puts the 24-hour fake experiment to shame. So anybody who wants to look into flat Earth, we're going to be saying, hey, welcome to flat Earth. If you're intellectually honest, if you're willing to question what you believe, the evidence is overwhelming. It does, all of the evidence doesn't go away just because of some fake observation or some fake experiment done by some YouTube shill. So that's where I'm at. Vikka, I know you got some new information to share with us and the community today, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Some of the things that came out, I think people jumped to a conclusion and maybe should have waited a little bit. I know I tried to wait before jumping to any conclusions. But it's like I said, the more time goes by, the more suspicious things come out. So where are we going to be a month from now? I mean, there's going to be more things that we're learning and seeing. Also, I'll say this: our friend on TikTok, Dirt Cousin, he is a videographer and a photographer for many, many years, for decades. And this is his point. One of his main arguments is you do not use 360 virtual reality technology to try to gather evidence for reality. He said it's absurd. So that there is extremely suspicious to him. It makes me think, yeah, why would they use virtual reality to try to gather evidence of reality? That makes no sense at all. So more and more red flags on the field, and I think all of us are going to have a good year in 2025, sharing the truth of our enclosed electrical topographical stationary plane. Back to you, Vikka.
Yeah, brother, absolutely. So the lines are open. If you get in the studio, you have to wait till the people get their turn. So yeah, get your popcorn out or whatever makes you comfortable, coffees, play whatever, because we're gonna be skinning this thing more deep, right? So if you have any speciality or any skill you want to add about what we are speaking, and you could come and say, well, excuse me, you are wrong here or this or that, whatever, anybody's welcome, right? and everybody is welcome to give in their opinion what we're going to be sharing here today. Yep. So before we go into that whole 360 thing and why and what is happening there, I wanted to share something that I shared today. Let me see if it is going to let me. Alrighty. Real versus fake. Keep an eye on the mountains. Keep an eye on the shadow on the left. Keep an eye on the light and attenuation.
Look at the
Keep an
colors.
look at the colors. Yes, that's a real time lapse of a sun from Antarctica versus a fake one. Right?
Yeah, the light attenuation is huge, Vika. There are no other videos even remotely similar to what they filmed in Antarctica or what they allegedly filmed. So that's perhaps one of the biggest ones for me to stand firm that they faked it.
Okay, check the shadow, how the shadow moves.
Shadow,
Check the
bro.
shadow. This is no. This is made by people who are really trying to do some science, right?
Now,
You
hold
see
on
the
one
hot
sec.
spot. You see the hot spot.
Yeah. That's, you know, I was questioning the shadow of the mountain, and Dave said, "Oh, it's probably you just hit it too low of an angle or something." And I kind of was
Yeah,
like,
but
"Yeah,
see
all
that you
right."
see how the shadow moves. You see how big is the shadow. The sun is the more or less the same size. You see the shadow how it's moving
Yeah, and look at how
on
low
the
the shadow is
mountain.
to the mountain. That
Yeah,
shadow of
on
the
the
mountain should be miles across.
exactly, and see the shadow on the top of the mountain and also on the floor on the ground.
Yep. And look at the short shadows on the smaller parts. Yeah, man, this is looking really bad, especially when you put something real up against it, bro.
Oh yeah, go and check it out on my YouTube. I have it in a cinematic version. You can see everything really well, right? Now check again the shadow. Check the shadow, check the light attenuation, check the color of the sun, right? Check the timestamp below. What the hell these people are doing? So I just shared this today. Yeah, go ahead, Gene.
Now I bet you could find lots of videos like you have on the left.
Oh yeah, bro. This is the thing. These people call themselves researcher and investigator, and it's all bull crap. There's so much of information about everything that you can imagine, right? But these people just were like blindly going for Antarctica, right? And Jaren becoming a globe earther proves only one and only thing is that the flat earth is doing some real damage to the controllers. And the second thing is Jaren got good money. That's the only two things that proves.
So you think Jaren's just reading a script now?
Dude, these are all IDBM actors. They all have a freaking price. I'm sorry to say that, but this is what is coming out. You all can see it.
Yeah, congratulations. You have one shill that flipped from flat earth to the globe. Congratulations. You got one guy. Meanwhile, we'll get millions more the next few months.
Yeah, but exactly, but we don't need that one guy who was pretending to be a flat earther.
Not at all.
Right?
Not at all. You can't ignore the mountain of evidence that we have when all they have is weak arguments based on false assumptions. They have nothing real. We have everything observable, measurable, and repeatable. Flat Earth always wins, and it will continue to win and grow by leaps and bounds this year.
Yeah, you know, and since anybody wants to jump ship and go back to flying around in outer space, that leaves a lot more room for the truth. Anyway, so you're welcome to leave.
Oh, yeah. And this is the thing. I just shared this today 6 hours ago on my Facebook page. 22,000 views in 6 hours. This shit is spreading more faster than wildfire. This is what they deserve.
You know, shadows, guys, have been one of my favorite things to look at with the construction pictures. You see the shadows don't line up. There's missing shadows, weird stuff. So it's good to know like where to pay attention and, you know, how to read things like that. That stuck out to me pretty bad, the shadows, bro. And there's no twilight. There's no dusk. There's no change in the color of the sky or the ground, the kind of like there is over here on the left.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, brother. This is yeah. Go ahead, Keith.
I'm just saying, the more you look at their footage allegedly from Antarctica, the more fake it looks. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, it's looking worse than the Tesla in front of the Earth that Elon launched into space.
You know it's real because it looks so fake.
Yeah.
We'd have better CGI than that, wouldn't we?
Oh yeah, and all who are people are coming with the claim, oh, it was this, it was that. We will see. We will see with time, and not very long time. I'm not saying about months on this, right? We will see, right? So many will say, oh, why? Oh, why is that footage? Where is it from? Who made it? No, they are not questioning why the hell is not happening so many things that should happen on this time lapse, right? It's not my problem if you didn't do your research and find out things what you need to find out, right? You were too busy grifting people, right? That's what it's freaking all about, right? Instead of grifting, maybe if you would spend more time in investigating what are the possibilities, right? Maybe you would have taken it in a different way. This thing would have come out in a different way. We were open. We were very neutral, right? So let's see. The people have gone there. They're going to do some science there. Oh, really? The amount of things you guys have left even before you left, and now you guys want to go and say, oh, this happened, that happened. Why the hell did you all didn't do it before going there? Why didn't you go to a different channel and ask what is the opinion? What is the thing of possibility? What is there? If you can't do all the shit. No, you guys were just busy making up how to get this free trip, right? And it's not only about the free trip and everything that comes with it. Sorry, guys. We were supposed to be very neutral, but the things these people have put it out, and the things are coming out, and the people look like they're in a Mandela effect or something. All the flat earthers, it's like very normal for them. Jaron being a glober and still going there and talking shit.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I hear you. We hear you. I hear you.
You hear me too, Samuel?
I hear you, yes. But the mic of Aloha is off. His mic is off. I can see the little sign there.
All right. So I was not just ranting, right? So you guys were hearing me?
Yeah, now, yes.
Welcome, Sam. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just like, listening to you. And I'm not like a technician, I'm more focused on the human side of that whole thing. Because you're talking about a lot of, red flags, of course, about the TFE thing. But, when we look at the reaction of the Flat Earth veterans, like David Weiss, Mark Sargent, Patricia, all this, we can see also a lot of anomalies over there, a lot of red flags, because they don't react the way they should react, because they apparently they endorsed that TFE. They're trying to, act as the lawyers of TFE. And that's not normal. That's also an anomaly. That's also something that's not normal. There's a lot of red flags on that side too. So
a little stiff on that end, right? They're defending a lot, and we'll see how that unfolds too, as far as I'm concerned. It's still early. It's not even 2 months old, so we'll see. We got time. The wheels of justice grind slowly, guys.
That makes that whole thing like much bigger than just like a fake trip to Antarctica. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond.
It does. Look what it's doing to the community. It's heartbreaking to watch this, guys.
No, brother, it's not. It's perfect. This is going through like a how do you say, a labor of pain. The community that comes out, like at least you can see who the hell is what, right? At least you're gonna search for that. It's nothing that is everything that happens is for a reason and for good, right?
Yes,
so
course.
There would be amazing things coming out of this reason. Oh yeah, that is happening. Amazing things are happening. We are calling out people. never would have called out, even though we were freaking seeing that shit from a very long time. Yeah. So now it's a perfect timing, right? True or not?
It's true. The thing that these people cannot win, they're gonna fall. They have to fall. But the thing
Yeah.
is that they can make a lot of damage on their way down. You understand? So that's the point. That's the
Exactly.
thing. That's the whole thing. It's not if they're gonna win or not. They're not gonna win. They cannot win. They're in a no-win situation. But they can damage. They can do a lot of damage. And this is, what I'm trying to focus on, a little more. But
Well,
They're
Yeah,
leaving
more.
battle wounds right now.
this is not going to age well for them. There's two reasons.
that's for
One,
sure.
one, it's fake as hell, and two, humans have a short-term memory. They don't remember things very long. 6 months from now, this isn't going to be much of anything, regardless of which tabloids want to try to promote it. Flat Earth is going to get stronger and stronger. That's my prediction. We will see if I'm right or not. But I know how people are. They don't remember that for 90% of the population out there, they don't give a damn about Antarctica and the 24-hour sun. It's the people that are waking up, people who are questioning their religion, they're questioning their government, they're surely questioning the TV and the talking heads on the media. So, I mean, this is not going to age well. For one, it's fake as hell, and for two, people have short memories.
And you know what else, Keith? If this was going to be a big hit piece for the globe, it would have been already. They got all the information. It would have been all over everywhere already.
That's
But
scared.
that can still unfold a little bit. I don't think the globe is going anywhere because of this.
The media is scared because they know how many backups there is. They don't want it to to turn on them, to turn back on them. Like it's too dangerous. Because
True.
if they bring the attention of the whole world attention on that, everybody's going to see that it's fake. So that's not good for them.
That's right.
That's very easy to understand.
Oh yeah. This is the thing. These people, as I say, the people are like in a Mandela effect with this whole thing and with Jaren and everything, and still being there, right? That is the crazy part. And this is what, as you guys are saying, people have very short memory. In 6 months, they're not going to be seeing that this happened and many things. But for people who are really awake, they're going to see what happened here, right? How they are playing the community, and they're going to continue playing this community if the people don't wake up, right? You don't have to be a really genius or intelligent to see the fakery going on here, right? First of the example right now I gave here of the 2 time lapse, and with the differences right there, you can see how fake it looks, right? So as I'm saying, take out your popcorn, because we are just starting. Let's say hello to Christo. Hey Christo, how are you? Are you
Aloha.
there?
His mic is off.
Your mic is off. You have to unmute. All right, Christo is gone. So guys, there's a jump in link if you guys want to add something and say something. We'd love to hear from you. So the thing was, we all saw last week about that line happening. Many people are thinking that it's fake, and maybe that the guy Kevin who was here last week, he just made it up, right? The people are not digging in deeper, and maybe some people are thinking it's a fake and somebody put him there to bring this here. That line was also captured by another person I know from very long time, also had captured that line, right? And when I went and looked for it, it was blurred out. So if it was fake, why you have the same anomaly in Austin's video, right? Doesn't make sense. If Kevin made this up, how is gonna be there in the video of the 24-hour sun, right? So the people who are saying fake, so you can forget that it's fake, because the anomaly is there, and many people have even went and looked after in this week. Sorry. So some people have taken up the video down too, right? Because many people are thinking, yeah, these people are stupid. They don't know that is the stitching of the 360 camera. But it's true as what Aloha was saying. Why the hell you want a 360 camera footage and give that, right? Just to screw with the people, right? Because the lies is so deep. So I heard you all, and even I heard David Weiss with his last comment about what was happening there, that we are forgetting the stitches of the 360 camera, right? I get it. Right? So he even sent me video to check it out. So let's go and check out the video, right? Go ahead, guys. The video. Anybody wants to add something to that?
I'm just saying that besides the fact that we still have to monitor, all that footage there, all that TFE, experiment there. I believe that also we have to pay very close attention to everything these people say, like David Weiss, Mark Sargent. All these people are saying things. We have to try to understand what they have in mind, because their attitude is not normal. It's not. It doesn't make sense. So we have to understand, to detect what they have in mind, because that's not normal.
They all are getting played. They all are getting played by all these people.
But I want to know what they have in mind. What's the point? They want to divide the flat Earth, like how and why, and we have to try to understand what's in their mind. So now I'm just spending a lot of time to just like watch them very closely. Everything they say, everything they the way they say things. So we have to watch them closely, to my mind, because again, for me, it's they're part of a whole. The TFE and those guys are like one for me. It's not today. It's clear, and and it's hard to understand why, but it's not impossible.
So Sam, Sam, this reminds me of feeling that throughout the decades, a lot of those big grassroots organizations were actually from the top down. They're not from the bottom up.
Yes,
and I'm wondering right now how much of the flat Earth community is from the top down and not really from the bottom up right now.
Exactly. Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out quickly. But we have to, we have to be.
I'm not in a big rush to point fingers or anything, but I'm watching, paying attention as best I can.
I'm more impulsive.
What?
I am more impulsive. I'm just like, just.
That's all right, man. Whoa. I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, you move. I just shoot first, and then when you got to shoot. Don't talk.
No, yeah, because Mark Sargent was saying that when Jaren is going to appear in a Porsche, he's going to maybe believe he's a shield. You think this guy's worth a Porsche? Really? If we might know the real amounts these guys have done to deceive the community, we might be even laugh, right? Really. So let's listen to this video, right? The people are going blindly. Oh, you guys don't understand the 360. Is the stage? Is it that? All right. So they sent us the video. Let's check it out.
Response from Norman, and Norman had asked if there's a way to fix or improve the stitching line within the Insta360 Studio app. So I'm in the Insta360 Studio app right now. I've got a 360-degree video right here that I filmed with my Insta360 X4. And obviously the primary subject was George Cooney, the raccoon, and you can see him here. He's eating his watermelon. But although I had the camera, and one thing I mentioned within previous videos with the Insta360 X4, if you're filming in 360, which utilizes the camera on both sides of the Insta360 X4, you want to point one of those two cameras where the action's probably going to be. So in this scenario, this lens was pointed directly in this direction because I knew that's where George Cooney would come from, and I pointed it at the watermelon because I knew that George Cooney would be eating the watermelon. So there's no visible stitching here, but check this out. If I go to the right, you can see the stitch. Look real closely in the grass here. You can see where the stitch is. So this was the side of my Insta360 X4, and that's where everything's stitched together. If you look closely, you can see that pole, and this video is in 4K, so crank up the quality, and you can see all the detail on YouTube. But you can see how that pole looks a little bit blurry because it's also on the stitch line. So how, within Insta360 Studio app, can one better hide the stitching? Well, here you go. Go to image up here towards the top right. One thing you can do is select the type of lens guard. Now, I did have lens guards on, and they were the standard, so I selected standard lens guards. So if you're using lens guards, you want to make sure you've selected the appropriate type. Now, optimally, if you didn't mind risking potentially getting your lens scratched, you could do normal, which would be no lens guard attached. I would never film without a lens guard. Now here's stitching options, stitching optimization. Right now I've only got chromatic calibration, but check this out. AI stitching, see how that looks different? I'm going to toggle it back off. There it is, off. There's AI stitching on. Off, on, off. And notice this tree up here too. Look at the leaves when I turn it back on. See? That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to turn it back off. You can do optical flow stitching. There it is, on. There it is, off. There it is, on. Pay attention to the grass, the pole, the leaves up here. I'm going to toggle it on, back off again. Off, on, off. And now we can do dynamic stitching. There it is, on. There it is, off. There it is, on. Pay attention here especially. Look at the grass. And then here's chromatic calibration, which I've left on. Turning it on and off, I don't notice anything radically different. Now what I want y'all to tell me is which one looks the best. Was it dynamic stitching, optical flow stitching, or AI stitching? Well, this is which one I thought looked best. AI stitching, look at that. And it's not just because it has that overused buzzword AI. I think it does look the best, but what do y'all think? Now what if I did multiples? Well, it won't let you. So it's either dynamic stitching, optical flow stitching, or AI stitching, or none at all. I like the AI stitching. Image processing, that's not related to stitching. But I would say here, and see this is this side, let's see if we can find the stitch on the opposing side. There's George Cooney enjoying his watermelon. I think the stitch over here is, there's my little tripod. I had it on an invisible selfie stick. I think the stitch line in this direction is here. You can barely see it. Yep, see I turned off AI stitching. Watch this grass right here. AI stitching off, AI stitching on. So if you don't know where your stitch is, well, that's a good thing because it's doing a good job hiding it. But if you don't know where it is, you could toggle one of these settings on and off and look for motion. For example, with AI stitching on, if I go over here and look at George Cooney, the raccoon, and I toggle AI stitching on and off.
One moment, Dirt Cousin, brother, if you want, you can jump in and give your inputs. You don't have to do your video camera. You can do just your audio. You're welcome. We have already spoken on TikTok before. So if you want to come in, that would be great because I have a lot of things to share. We'll continue.
Throughout this entire field of view, there's no visible difference as I toggle it on and off. But when I go over here and toggle it on and off, there's a visible difference because it's handling the stitching. So that's the side of the Insta360 X4 between the two lenses. So stitch line here, and then stitch line over here on the direct opposite side. So this is pretty cool. You can do this, but I feel that this is a clear illustration of how the placement of the camera. If you can control for George Cooney the raccoon, if you can predict where the subject's going to be.
In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to stitch 360.
All right. Yeah, so that video we saw what they were trying to show, right? Having stitches on the two sides. I see a problem with that, right? Because the stitches, then the cutting is going straight up, right? This another video is going to go in more detail, and I agree with Dirt Cousin is saying it's not the same video versus image and all this stuff, right? Yeah, there's more fakery happening because of that. That's why they got caught, because they're trying to mix up things 2D, 3D. So yeah, we'll go through this and then we will get on with what is happening here and why is it wrong that is just a 360 camera anomaly, right? So we continue.
Footage from start to finish in After Effects. The footage we're going to stitch is from a dual lens 360 camera, which is what most common consumer 360 cameras are. Essentially, we have a front and a back camera, and each lens records a fisheye spherical view. This benefits people who don't own an expensive stitching.
Dirt Cousin, you don't have to talk on the phone. Just click that link above on the chat, and if you click that link, you will come directly in the studio, and I can add you. You don't need to make a phone call. Click the link above here on the chat, which is pinned. It's going to take you, bring you to the stream.
Program but do have After Effects. Using this method, users can stitch their own footage, which often yields much better results than the basic stitching software that comes with most consumer level 360 cameras. Alright guys, before we get started, I do want to mention that I've included some unstitched 360 footage like I'm going to be using today that you can download from the blog post for this tutorial on premiumbeat.com, but feel free to use your own footage as well, as we are going to be going through this step by step. This tutorial can also serve as a nice introduction to understanding how 360 video is created and the various troubleshooting and issues that can arise. Alright, let's get started in After Effects. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to turn on GPU acceleration in the project settings, and this is because most of the immersive video effects require this to be on. So I'm just going to come here to File, and then Project Settings, and then under Video Rendering, I'm going to change this to be GPU acceleration, and click OK. If you don't have that on, you may see a red warning banner pop up when you apply the various immersive video effects. And again, all you need to do is just make sure that's turned on, that'll go away. Alright, so let's start over here with my Gear 360 footage. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag this into a new composition. We'll take a look at this. So with Gear 360 footage, what it does is you can see I have two different views, the dual lens 360 camera. It saves the video file in a unique way in the sense that both views are on one video file. So on your 360 camera, it may have these split up into two different files, and that's okay. We're going to essentially be doing that here in After Effects as well. But I just want to keep you aware of that in case your format looks like this. However, one thing we need to note about this footage as it is right now, you'll notice it's in a 2:1 aspect ratio. So what that basically means, and whenever I say that is, because your footage may be a different resolution, what I'm referring to is it's 2 across. You can see 1, 2 by 1 high. So whatever the height is, the width is going to be double that, and that's 2:1. So what we need to do is we need to split these up into two different views, each in their own composition, and it needs to be 1:1. So if I come over here, I'm just going to right click and go to Composition Settings, and I'll bring this up here. So again, we can see the width here is double the height, and if we look over here at the aspect ratio, it's going to say 2:1. So that's a good signifier there. Now again, your 360 clips may be a different width and height. Another very common width is going to be 4096 when you're dealing with another aspect ratio that could be 2:1. Anyway, let's just go ahead and split this clip up. That way you'll kind of understand where I'm going with this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to name this composition Shot A. And I'm going to come down here to the width, and I'm just going to click in here, and after that I'm going to add in divide by 2 and just click outside of that area. And you're going to see it's automatically going to divide that by 2. Now we have a 1:1 aspect ratio, and that'll even work with your footage even if it's a different resolution. Again, that's why it's cool to do that divide by 2. And so I'm just going to come down here and click OK. So what I need to do with my clip, because it has both of these views on the same video, I need to align one view right in the center of this composition. So I'm going to come up here to Window, and I'm going to select the Align options here, and I'm just going to align this to the left. With my footage selected, you can see it's automatically going to snap that over, so now it's pixel perfect for this. So this is now is 1:1. So I'm just going to come over here to the project settings, and I'm going to select that composition for Shot A. I'm going to hit Control D or Command D on a Mac, and that's going to duplicate that. You can see I have another one here. So I'm going to double click that one, and I'm going to right click over here in the gray area to go back to the composition settings for this one. And I'm just going to rename this one Shot B, and click OK. And now I'm going to select my footage, and now I want to align that to the right. So now you can see that move that completely over. Now it's snapped it pixel perfect here. So now we've essentially just separated each of our views. If your footage was already separated, again, you can just add them to a new composition and name those Shot A and Shot B. So now what I want to do is I want to select Shot A, and I want to add that into a new composition. So I'm just going to drag this down here, add it to a new comp. And on that comp, I'm just going to click it, hit enter. I'm going to name this Final Output. And now inside of that composition, again, we're doing a lot with pre-comps and everything, so just make sure you follow these steps closely. I'm going to right click in here under composition settings for that comp, and we want this one to be 2:1 again. So whatever the width is, just select in here, and I'm going to add in times 2, which is asterisk 2 there. And if I just click outside here, you're going to see now it's went to 2:1 there for the ratio. Again, that's what we want our final output to be, is a 2:1, because it's going to be an equirectangular spherical format. So I'm going to come back over here and click OK. So now we can see we have our Shot A side of our view in here, and we have that spherical fisheye dome view. And we need to convert this so it's no longer fisheye, so that it's kind of more equirectangular, like a traditional 360 video looks. So we're going to come here to the effects and presets, and I'm going to type in VR. That's going to toggle all the immersive video effects over here. And I'm going to select this effect called VR Converter. I'm just going to drag and drop that onto my Shot A. And if we come up here to input, you're going to see the default is on 2D source, and the output's equirectangular. And then the frame width is going to be the size of our composition, so that all looks good. We need to change the input, though, to be fisheye full dome. And now you can see something kind of interesting has happened here. It's converted that to now be more of a square form.
So the first video was sent to me by David Weiss, right? And the second video, I dig in more deeper, not because, and also I was, speaking to Joe. So I went in more deeper, and this is what he's also explaining the same thing, but in a different format, but speaking about the same thing, like how
Matt,
the
it kind of
stitching
basically
is,
just stretched it out, and it's converted that footage to now be
how the stitching is going on, and right. So I'll once it's finished, I'm gonna say what is the problems there and why is it happening.
perfectly one-to-one by making it square. And you can see over here, it's almost as if we've divided this into 4 areas. You can see we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this view is taking up 50% of the view, and the other view is going to take up these 2 areas. And so right now everything's looking correct. So what I'm going to do is come back to my project settings, and for shot B, I'm going to select it. I'm going to put it on top of shot A in here. We're also going to apply VR converter to our shot B. And again, we're going to come up here to inputs, and we're going to change that to be fisheye full dome. And then you'll see that's stretched out perfectly there. But again, we need to offset it. So if we come down here to reorient the camera view, we're going to come down here to pan, and I'm just going to type in 180. And now you can see how it's shifted that over. I can go ahead and just kind of animate this, and you can see kind of what's happening. How it's like a seamless, the way it wraps around there. So again, I want to set that to be 180 degrees. So now you can kind of see the start of our 360 video being stitched together. Now right now it's not stitched seamlessly. We have these horrible seam lines through here, and you can kind of see some duplications and stuff. But a cool thing is if we zoom in here, you can kind of see where we start needing matching things up. So you can see, I believe the lenses on the Gear 360, the camera I'm using.
So this is the thing. My problem with both the videos is that the stitching is going all the way up, and also on the floor, right? That's the problem. I'll
They have like
continue.
a 190 degree field of view, and that's so that little 10% kind of overlaps, and that kind of helps with stitching. So you can see we have this kind of a tree sticking out here, and you can see that's on both of our camera views. So essentially we need this to be aligned on top of that. And if we come back over here, we can see the same thing with a few different things, like this one here. It matches up with that one there. Now, one thing that's important to note when we do stitch this together is we need to pick a parallax point. And what that really refers to is you're probably gonna want to stitch to something far off in the distance, because if you stitch to something.
Oh yeah, Nerd Cousin, that's true. He's saying this is so crazy that this is considered evidence. Cylinders and spheres are used to immerse in a viewer in a virtual reality. This is so stupid. Yes, that's what is happening. That's what is happening.
Something close, like you can see this little area of grass right here. If I the total 360 degrees of our video, I'd rather adjust both of them so that I'm not just overstretching one of the clips. So I'm going to bring this up just about -1 degrees, just rotating that. I feel like that aligns that a little bit better. And I may bring shot A back down a little bit. Now you can see this is what I was referring to with the parallax issue. You can see as I kind of aligned this tree, because it's a little bit to affect the entire clip, I just kind of want to affect the edges here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to that mask. And
it should go all the way on the floor too, all the way from up, right? But that's what is not happening, what we saw in our anomaly, right?
but feel free to use your own footage as well, as we are going to be going through this step by step. This tutorial can also serve as a nice introduction to understanding how 360 video is created and the various troubleshooting and issues that can arise. All right, let's get started in After Effects. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to turn on GPU acceleration in the project settings, and this is
So this is the thing, both the videos go more in detail, but it's about the same thing. It's just cutting the two image from the two sides, but it's cutting also from below and above. But this is not what is happening there. People need to understand. It's not just that straight stitch, AI stitch that is connecting the two things. That's not the problem there in the anomaly that we see, right? Anybody want to add something before I continue to find the video? No, this is the one. Guys, anybody want to add something? Still, I look for the video. Mic check. Is anyone there?
I'm good,
here,
bro.
but-
I'm here.
It's definitely interesting, man. This is good stuff, bro. So yeah, keep going.
So now we can call it the fake as hell experiment, right?
Oh yeah. This is the thing. The more we dig in, the more and more people. This is the thing. The next time I'm going to play, there are people already investigating it. Not only me, or more people are looking and sending stuff and seeing the problems. Right. The main problem with the stitching of 360 that is going all the way up in comparison to this, what we caught them doing and smudging is taking a right degree turn. We will go in the more detail why is that right degree turn is happening. That what it gives it away, because these people are trying to mix in different objects, 3D into 2D, and they thought they're gonna get away with it, right? So we'll play this. That somebody went and this is not an image, this is the video. These people are changing the levels on a video. Mine was that I did it on an image to show the anomaly. Here people are showing on a video the anomaly, right? And keep an eye how what is happening there. There, right? You see there, it's like the meeting of three different screen or projection is happening there, right? If this line would have gone all the way up, all the way other side, maybe we could have taken it as a 360 camera stitch. Don't think that the people are stupid to just because you say so, we're going to believe that is the stitch, right? Go in deeper and see that angle turn screws them really, really hard. Why? Because this is what is happening. It's a freaking 2D screen in a 3D, whatever is the other screen above. It's almost the meeting of three different screen or projection together at that point. The behind is totally independent of these two screens. And this is a video, it's not an image. So that right angle turn is showing that it's not a stitch and totally independent of whatever is the other projection. Yeah, they just want to put everything under the carpet. Oh no, it's just the 360 screen. You guys are so blind. You guys are looking in, right? So many comments because the people, the blind are the ones who just eating what's been feeding to them without seeing it, right? They didn't even go to check and say that no, it cannot be just a stitch. Yeah, it's a stitch because somebody said so. It's a stitch of the 360 camera. The problem is the right degree turn, right angle turn, right? Why is it happening there, right? Because these people are unprofessional. These are the after effects problems. Three different screens meeting it up there. So yeah, I'm be looking for another video that I want to share. If you guys want to add something more, till I find the video, go ahead, guys. I did a screen recap. Are you guys there? Mic
Yeah, I'm
check.
watching. You know, shouldn't they have this on like 20 different cameras? Maybe it was the weight limit, and cameras aren't cheap, so. The imaginary weight limit that vanished when they got there, though, right? How real was that? Maybe those little glitches in the procedure they went through were just part of it to make it look legit. You know, when they get down there, they found out that Duffy told them the wrong information about the weight limit. Like, oh, you can take as much as you wanted. Sorry, oops. That could have been just part of it to make it look legit. Yeah, I wonder what kind
So
of
this is a
animals they
video
saw down
response.
there. Did they see any
Yeah, go ahead.
wildlife?
Yeah, go ahead, Jeet. Sorry, I'm just looking for some videos. Go ahead.
Nah, I'm just kind of rambling on. I wonder if they saw any wildlife down there, any birds, you know, anything. A walrus.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think they would have. I think we would have seen that if they had anything on film, at least.
Yeah, it was their way out to that, no animals, no nothing, right? So like they don't have to fake, yeah, nothing, no insect, no, right?
Yeah, well, there's not a lot down there, but and I don't know, maybe it's like up here. We don't see deer every day, all day, but there's thousands of them around. But we do have the woods, so I mean, there's a lot of differences. And maybe if there are animals around, maybe they just want to stay away from the people that are around also. So it could be a lot of different things of why they may not have seen any animals. I just wonder because I haven't heard anything about it or That's what I would be down there for. I want to see something moving around and try and make friends with the natives down there.
Yeah, Mikey's in the chat saying, "Flat Earthers, wake up! South is not down." Yeah, we agree,
Right.
Mike. You're right. It's out. It's not down. You're right.
That's true.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Ironworks for the super chat, brother. Hey, Capley, family, keep pushing. Come on, brother, come up and say something. Share your thoughts and your new fun. Go ahead, guys. I'm still like a bit I have so much stuff here. If for me, it's difficult to find some things.
What about that video we're looking at of their alleged 24-hour sun? Are there multiple versions of that from this trip, or just one camera did that? Anybody know?
Which one?
The one that you're showing from Antarctica on this last trip. Whose video is that? Is that Jaren's?
The one with the stitch is Austin's.
That's Austin. So how many other videos like Austin's are there?
I don't know, but something else Dirt said that makes sense is that nobody has the raw, unedited footage. It's all compressed upon compressed. It's compressed from their technology, and then they upload it to YouTube or TikTok or somewhere, and it's compressed again.
Yeah.
So allegedly, they have real raw footage with the metadata, and I don't know that anybody else has seen that except for the guys that were there.
Okay, so but then how, if it's so complicated and over compressed, how do we get that without that happening then? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't know how we get it. But somebody who knows
Compression
knows
game.
video and knows photography needs to be looking at it. I mean, there's no way we can take the word of any of them. And unfortunately, not Austin either. I still have hope that Austin will come out stronger than ever here at some point. But I think he's just kind of still waiting for the dust to settle. Jaron obviously is a lost cause, in my opinion. He's just getting paid. Hopefully he got paid a lot, because he'll probably have to live with this lie for the rest of his life. But I don't think he cares.
Yeah, money answers a lot of problems for some people, right?
Not sure it's just money. It cannot be just money and or fear. Or there's more than that. Might be like those people might have an ideology of some kind, some kind of ideology, some degenerate ideology or something that motivates them.
Right.
I don't think the money is enough.
It might have been from the beginning, though. You know, he might not have ever been a real flat earther, though. You know?
It has to be. It's logic. There's no other solution. It's from the beginning. They've been invented right in the beginning. Yeah.
That the fact that Jaron is the one doing that experiment in the other documentary, the Behind the Curve or whatever, and now it's the same guy that has stopped being a flat earther and become a glober. That's just ridiculous. I mean, the globers must think we have no reason, logic, or common sense. I mean, we can figure things out pretty quickly, and we are figuring it out. And like I said earlier, they cannot say, oh, if there's a 24-hour sun, and then think that we're going to forget about all of the evidence that we've collected over the last 10 years or however long someone's been into it. But somebody like Jaron said, oh, flat earth isn't going anywhere. Jaron, you were talking flat earth proofs and truths for the last 10 years. You were on Globebusters for who knows how long. You have a ton of evidence for flat earth. And now, because of one observation, you're a glober. No measurements, just an observation. No, Jaron, it sounds to me like you got paid. Sounds to me like you are now reading a script, and you go ahead and do what you need to do for yourself. But the rest of us are going to continue on with the truth, and we're going to keep growing. So I don't think Jaron hurts the flat earth community at all. I really don't. Well, I think if anything, it just makes all the halfway spiritual people realize, oh yeah, somebody's lying for money now, because he never made any money or never got very far with flat earth personally. So now he's flipping, and he sees how many views and how many likes and how the algorithms pop up the glober. So he's thinking, oh, I can make money over there. That's what it looks like to me. So I mean, you might be wrong. I mean, right, Samuel. It might be deeper than just money, but for some people, it's just money.
Yeah, of course, in the way people make money. But you see, I'm not sure that we are the target, because they're not that stupid. They know that we're not going to fall for that. Their bullshit. They know that. But actually, maybe the target is the other guys, the potential flat earthers, the potential ones that are going to come, that are about to join, that don't know much, that don't think much. Those are the targets.
You know what, Sam? I think they're going to catch the ones who are a little bit more inclined to understand, and they're gonna break those people, because it is a larger understanding. It's a deeper understanding, so to speak. You know what I mean? So, if they got past flat water, that means they're buried, and it's going to be possibly hard. The more indoctrination they have, the harder it is going to be pulling back, and Jaron's going to get those people.
That's it. So if I was instead of them, I would see the flat earth movement as something dangerous and spreading like crazy. So I got to stop the bleeding. I have to stop it. I don't want to just convince the good flat earthers, the smart ones. I just want to stop that movement from spreading. And actually, what they did, can affect the spread of the flat earth for so long. I don't know, but a lot of people don't understand all that. They just see videos and the mainstream media, and they see that the flat earth now is theory, it's like dead. It's like they might believe it for a while. I don't know. They're trying to stop to slow down the.
Today we're going to take a look.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, bro. I was.
So I believe it's the objective is not to convince us. We thinking we have good heads, but not everybody has, and not everybody is just also in the movement into flat earth. A lot of people are potentials, flat earthers, potential flat earthers, and this is going to affect them because they're going to just hear, oh wow, flat earth's been debunked now, with that TFE thing. They're going to believe it for a while. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they slow the flat earth movement down for a little while. I mean, but I think you're right. It's just they know they're not going to get us, but they're just trying to keep the sheep in the pen.
Exactly.
So
Right.
meanwhile, but still, the sheep are going to be jumping the walls and jumping the gates everywhere because it's not just flat earth. People are tired of the bullshit from the overall matrix, from the politics to the religion to the TV and the entertainment and the bullshit music they keep producing. I mean, people have
Bad
a soul.
food, the hospitals,
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's all of it. It's not just flat earth.
everything, bro.
Yeah, but the thing that sometimes people are scared to lose what they believe they have, and when you're fed from the system, even though the system lies to you, people just say, okay, I feel comfortable like this. I don't want to just change anything. I'm making money now. I'm making So I don't know. It's not easy. Not everybody is capable to fight for the truth. It takes a lot. It takes lots of sacrifice. Look at us. We're spending time.
And it's not all fun and games all the time. Like the past few weeks since since these results have come back and we're all analyzing and dissecting it and coming up with stuff. It's like a growing pain for this community. That's why, like in the beginning, I was like, guys, please don't call your friends names because they don't agree with you. Let this unfold. We don't know enough. All kinds of reasons not to jump the gun and do the things that I saw happen in the community. It was a little rough to watch. So I hope everybody just settle down and feels good about what's going on, because this is gonna propel this movement in a better direction.
Of course.
It is. It's pretty simple to see. There's a few key things: light, water, pressure. And people understand that in everyday life, and you break that down to them, there's your flat earth. Welcome. What the lights are doing in the sky are pretty amazing anyway, without the 24-hour sun. They still got to explain. When I talk about the lights in the sky, they still got to explain the Big Dipper and everything rotating around the central axis of the North Pole for thousands of years. So, how are you going to do that? Just because they saw I don't even know what they saw down there. Now, looking at that video, I'm like, man, I don't even know what that video is.
All right,
that
guys.
guy-
Before we,
Like they got that dome in Nevada or whatever it is, and create reality in a 360 dome-shaped building. Could they have like something like that invisible down there to them? It could be reflecting back over there. There's like this huge stadium-sized thing, invisible, where they can't even fucking see that they're looking at, an array of lenses or TV screens, and could it be something like that?
we
I
are
don't know.
we are taking them from every side, right? It's possible. That is the reason is they're getting caught from every side, right? But right now, we can give them that they might have visited somewhere with the ice, and could be also Union Glacier, right? Could be. We are giving them that for now, okay? And the rest, the main data is the 24-hour sun, right? And there, where is all the fakery happening? You could go anywhere, go in a place and just catch on it, right? We were there, you guys are lying, we were in Antarctica, wherever. It's because they have to have something to grasp. So for right now, we will give them that they've been somewhere. But it's a lot of studio, green screens, After Effects, chroma key, many things is happening. right? So that is the best part. We are not just taking things for granted. So the people who are thinking they're very smart, who are pointing out, and that this is the stitching, this is what we're trying to show here. And we're going to go in more deeper. And before we continue, so just so that the people know, there's a link up there and you can come in, join in and say whatever you think. And Dirt Cousin and everybody else, you guys are gonna love this too. Why is the difference between the stage? The right angle. The right angle screws everything. And we will see why it might be happening. We'll continue.
It's Charles Jaeger from Metal. Today we're going to take a look at how we can create a 360-degree video without a 360-degree camera. What we'll be doing is shooting a person over a green screen with a traditional DSLR, and then we're going to use that footage in combination with Metal Skybox and After Effects to output a 360-degree video. This is a really cool and cost-effective solution for people to start creating some 360-degree content. I'm going to show you guys quite a few new tips in this tutorial, and I think it's going to answer a lot of questions people have been having using Skybox with traditional 2D footage. All right, let's get to it. All right, so what I've got here is some footage that I shot with a GH4 DSLR, and I filmed myself standing in front of a green screen. This is just a pop-up green screen. Now, traditionally, if you're going to film someone on a green screen for this type of technique, you're probably going to want a larger green screen backdrop and also have some of the green screen on the floor because you will need to shoot them from head to toe, and you will need to key out around their feet and everything else. Now, in this case, just for this tutorial, I went ahead and used a smaller pop-up green screen. I just made sure in this case not to move my feet because I was going to roto around those and then key out all this other background here. So just keep that in mind throughout this tutorial. And again, if you are going to be moving, make sure you put something green on the floor. Now, you can shoot this indoors or outdoors. I went ahead and shot outdoors because obviously there's a lot more light in this case. But just think about the 360-degree video you're going to be creating. Is your person going to be inside of a building? Are they going to be outside the environment? So that may determine where you want to actually shoot your green screen plates at. And also want to note that the composition size I'm working with right here is a 1920 by 1080, so this is a full HD composition. So really any DSLR that shoots full HD you can use for this effect. And this will be just fine because our person's not really going to be any closer to the camera than he is in the real 360-degree space. So what I mean by that is we're not going to position this person really close to our virtual 360 camera rig because the distortion would be too great. And you really want your person to at least be the same distance away from the virtual camera as he was from the real camera in real life. And so in this case, I'm about 12 feet away from the camera. And so I would need to keep that in mind when I do this virtually. It's okay for me to be further back, but I don't want to really be that much closer to the camera. All right, so the first thing I did was I went ahead and masked out my feet and around the green screen. I'll go ahead and show you that. And all I did was I just used the...
So you guys can take this person as the landmark these people have, because that's the main landmark. Mount Ross is their main landmark because there's nothing else much more detectable because they have purposely done that, right? So just take that. You continue.
Mask tool up here and just mask around everything. Again, I don't move my feet through this shot, so I didn't have to worry about that. All right, so now we have left is to get rid of this green screen, so I just went ahead and keyed this out, so I'll enable that right now. If you want to key out your footage, you just need to go to Effect and Keying, and you'll see an effect called Key Light. It's a really good keyer for getting rid of green screens. In this case, I actually use a third-party plugin from Red Giant called Primac Keyer. It works really well too, but either one of those will work fine. And what you should be left with is your person completely keyed out and ready to be added into the virtual 360-degree scene. So I went ahead and named this composition that I'm working with right now green screen. I'll go ahead and show you that. So it's right here, and this is going to be what I want to add to my new virtual scene. So let's go ahead and just create a simple scene here. So I'm just going to click on a new composition. I'll just call this scene, and I want it to be a 1080 by 1080 composition. And you're also going to want your frame rate to be the same as your footage. In this case, mine is 29.97. Make the duration whatever you want it to be. I'll just leave mine at around 10 seconds and click OK. So now we have our square composition, and now I'm going to go ahead and add in that green screen footage that we just keyed out. So there that is. And the first thing I want to do is I want to come down here and enable it to be 3D. So now if I go to a custom camera view here, use the C key to navigate around with the camera. Now keep in mind when the 360 camera is looking at this footage, it's always going to be looking at it directly from the front. So we'll never really see it from the side. As long as we don't move the 360-degree camera too much within the space, you won't be able to tell if this is actually a flat layer. All right, I'm going to go back to the active camera view. And so now with that layer in 3D, we can go ahead and run the Metal Skybox Creator script. So I'm just going to go to File, Scripts, Skybox Creator. That'll pop up the Skybox Creator dialog box. Now we just need to select our composition.
The name is interesting, yeah? Skybox Creator Studio. I'll say it again. Skybox Creator Studio.
In this case, it's called Scene. It's right here at the bottom. And I'm going to check on here to use a 2-node camera and to use a 3D null camera controller, and also that I am going to be using 3D plugins, and then all we need to do is click Generate Skybox Output. When that finishes, you should see your equirectangular footage, which right now really can't tell much, just as you can see your keyed out person in the middle of the screen. So now let's jump back over to our scene composition, and we can go ahead and add some other elements in here. If your person is a little too close to the camera, if he shows up distorted, all you need to do is come over here to your footage, select it, and we can go to a custom camera view just so we can see this a little easier now. And I'm just going to pan around here so you can see right there is our 360 camera rig, and there's where our person is. So if you need to move them further back, just go ahead and click on the Z-axis and move them back in Z-space. Because sometimes your person may appear really close to the camera like this, and they'll look really distorted. So go ahead and make sure they're further back.
Do you guys see something?
All right, let's jump back to the active camera view. All right, I'm gonna add a floor in here, just keep it real simple. So I'm gonna right click and go to new solid. I'll just call this floor. Make it comp size and click OK. And actually what I wanna do on this, before I make it 3D, I wanna go up here to the mask tool and use the ellipse tool and just double click and it'll create a circle like that. So now with that solid selected, I'm gonna go ahead and check that as 3D as well. And I'll come here to the rotate tool. I'm gonna rotate it on the X axis. And if you hold shift, it'll snap into place here, just like that. And I'm just gonna move it down now in Z space. And let's go to a custom camera view. This will orient it so we can see things a little bit easier. So I'm just going to move this underneath my feet. And you may have to look at it from many different angles to make sure you get it right. It's just kind of the nature of After Effects 3D space here. All right, so it looks pretty good. And so now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to scale up that floor layer. So I'll go back to the active camera view. And with the floor selected, I'm just going to hit S on the keyboard for scale. I'm going to scale that up really big. And the reason we want to use a circle is so we don't get any weird edges along the back edge here. If we come back to our custom camera view, you can see when we look around, you don't see any sharp edges because if it was a square, we'd be getting an edge right here where that goes all the way out. All right, let's jump back to the active camera. And for our background here for the sky, I'm just going to use a 2D layer. If I use a 2D layer behind everything, it'll fill in all of the upper area. We just have to make sure it's just one color. So I'm going to right click, create a new solid. I'm just going to make it a cyan color. I'll just name it sky. Make comp size and click OK. And again, we want this to be at the very bottom of everything. So it's just on the background back there. And now let's refresh our output and see what this looks like. So let's go to File, Scripts, Skybox Creator. Make sure we have our composition selected. In this case, it's Scene. Yes, we are using a 3D null camera controller. And let's click Refresh. And there we go. Now we can see our new 360 scene. It looks pretty simple right now, but we do have a full 3D setup. Let's jump back over to the scene composition and add in a couple other 3D elements just to make sure everything looks correct. So I'm just going to add in some 3D text. So I'll just click on the text tool. I'm going to type right here, 3D text. Now with this text I just created, I'll show you a cool trick so you can make sure that it's always facing your 360 camera. That way it doesn't look like a flat 2D layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to this text layer. I'm going to make sure it's 3D and just make sure it's left, right, in the center. And I'm going to go to a custom camera view just so we can see this a little easier. I'm going to pull out here. And so what we don't want to have happen is I don't want to move this text. If I move it up,
If you guys see, keep an eye on that. The layer he's projected or putting in that square box, he's putting it there in that 3D environment. You can see the angles of that because he's cropped only his image, but that the whole square can be used as a backdrop as a 2D projection, right? That's what I'm trying to show here. All right, and the angles is the same because the same thing is happening, right? They have a 3D environment. We don't know if it's real or fake, but the screen anomaly that is coming is because there's a 2D projection fit in there, right? And that 2D projection is of that landmark Mount Ross, right?
off to the side like this, the rig's going to be able to look at this and know that it's kind of a flatter text layer. So there's a cool trick we can do by creating a null and then rotating the text from the null object. So I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that, just leave it alone where it is. And so what I want to do is I want to right click and create a new null object. And I'm just going to rename that null controller. And I'm going to select it and make sure it's 3D. Now we can see our null is 3D. However, it's not in the center of the camera rig, which we have a null object when we generated our 360 camera rig right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that null that was created by Skybox. I'm going to hit P for position. That'll bring up the position coordinates. I'll just select it. I'm going to hit Control C on the keyboard to copy it. Then I'll select my new null object I just created and push Control V on the keyboard. And you can see that's going to line that up perfectly with that other null. So what I'm going to do with my text is I'm going to select my text. I'm going to parent it to that new controller null object. Now that's parented, I'm going to hit R on that new null object, and we can go ahead and rotate the text from this null. And by doing it this way, you'll see that it's always facing directly toward the camera rig. So you can see just like this. So that's pretty cool. So that's a cool way to offset some text or anything like that, or any other 2D layers you have that you want in your scene, but you don't want them to look really like they're...
Exactly, any layer. You can do anything. It could be an image, it could be a video, it could be a piece of any moving image, and you can put in that environment and make it look
flat. So you need to make sure they're always facing forward toward the camera rig. This is an easy way to do that. So I could do this also with footage of me if I want to duplicate it. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick too. So I'm going to select my green screen layer. I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate it.
Guys, you see the angle of the square of the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the anomaly that is happening, what we caught, right? But it's much more huge in the 3D environment because it's not a real projection. Whatever they're showing there at Mount Ross is not real. That is the reason that anomaly is coming in, because they try to put this object or that projection in their 3D environment, right?
You know, it just
Now it's
reminds me of
duplicated. I'm going
Vikka.
to go ahead and create a new.
What?
You know what this reminds me of? Have you ever seen the video of the dog digging a hole on the moon?
Oh yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we could check this out. We're gonna continue
Null
check
object to
this out.
rotate that around with. So I'm just going to right click and create a new null object. I'll just name this controller 2. Go ahead and check it as 3D. And we're going to need to also put the same position stats on it. So I'll just select the other controller I made, hit P for position, just copy these coordinates over, hit Control C, select the new null object and hit Control V to paste it. You can see it lined up perfectly. And so now let's go ahead and select our second green screen we just created. I'm going to parent that to the null all the way up here at the top. And now that it's been parented, I can go ahead and select my second controller. I'm going to hit R for rotation. And now I can rotate that. And so now you can see how this is really beneficial because this is a 2D layer. We always want to make sure it's facing directly toward our camera rig, because if it wasn't, we could be able to see that, you know, it's just flat, and we don't want to reveal that. We want it to look like it's actually in this 360 space. And so this is an easy way to make sure that it's always facing the camera and will look correct. So I'll just rotate this off to the side here. Now just rotate this around. You can see now we have our text, and you got the duplicate copy of our person on the back side here. I'm actually going to move that 3D text layer right there further back in Z space, because right now I feel like it's a little too close to our camera rig. So I'm just going to select that 3D text, and I'm going to hit P for position. Just move it further back in Z space. And you can see when I do this, it doesn't affect the fact that it's linked to that null object. I can still rotate it. If I select the controller for that layer, hit R for rotation, I can still rotate it and it'll still face the correct way. So that's a pretty cool trick. Let's go back to our active camera view. And now let's go ahead and go to File, Scripts, Skybox Creator. And let's go ahead and refresh this scene again so we can see this on the output. All right, so now we can see our new output. Everything still looks pretty similar, but now we have our person here, we have our text and the duplicate person. All right, so it's a little bit harder to make sense of our scene right now with the current setup. So let's go ahead and view this in the Skybox viewer so we can actually see what's happening. So I've got my Skybox scene output. So I want to come up here to my project panel. I'm going to find that composition, which is right here. I'm going to add this to a new composition. I'm just going to call it Scene Viewer. All right, so in that Scene Viewer composition, I want to select the scene output. I'm going to go up here to Effect, Metal, Skybox Viewer. And I want to come over here to the effects panel. I want to set this to 1920. And I'm going to right click here to create a new camera. And I want to select it as a 15mm, which will match up with the same field of view you'll have on YouTube if you upload this to YouTube. I'm going to click OK. All right, so now we can start to see something that makes a little more sense. I'm going to hit C on the keyboard so we can just navigate around here. And you can see when I look around, we're not seeing that it's like a 2D layer. It's always facing the camera. And so if we come here, there's our 3D text. And there's the duplicate copy right there of me. Again, this is just a very simple scene that we're putting together here just so you can get an idea of how these scenes are created. Let's go ahead and move on and look at some other 360 scenes we can create in After Effects using this technique. All right, so here's another quick demo scene I created. I'll go ahead and go to a custom camera view so you can see what's going on here. So what I've got, these layers are a little bit transparent, but I've essentially created a cube inside of the 3D space, and I ran the Skybox Creator script, and I positioned the Skybox camera right in the center of the cube. And if I move inside here, you can see it a little bit easier. And so you can see the rigs. All right, seeing this gives us a little bit better idea. So you've got me standing in front of the camera rig. We've got our back wall, got the right wall, the front wall, and the left wall here, and so you have the top and the bottom. So this essentially is unwrapping everything in that scene and putting it in an equirectangular format, so now it's ready to be uploaded to YouTube for 360 video. Let's go ahead and look at another example I have. It's kind of a more detailed version of this scene, and we're looking at this from the custom camera view. This is a setup very similar to the Duran Duran music video that they did, which was done in a similar method to this in a 360 space, but they used the same technique for that music video as I did here, where they shot the footage with a normal camera and they added it into a 360 scene in After Effects. So again, we're looking at this from a custom camera view. I'll just go to the front camera view so you can just get an idea. So we're in a similar room setup here with some 3D text and different details on the wall. I'll go ahead and go back to the custom camera view so you can see what's going on. And so you can see the rigs in the center of the scene. That's what's crucial, having that in the scene. And you can see I did something similar to the Duran Duran video. Now, actually, just so we can see this easier, I went ahead and turned off 2 of the walls. But I'll come down here and turn those back on so you can just see kind of what that's like. And there they are. And so in this case, they're not transparent, so we can't see our scene unless I turn some of these walls off. So that's why I turned those off, just so we can look around in here and see the scene a little bit easier. Then you'll notice I use the...
You guys are getting onto something, right? The technology is much more advanced, right? They can even take a normal video and make it look like a 360 and add anything. And every box of this is like a projection screen, can be used individually. That is what is happening there. Well, in that anomaly of that box, that is the reason. Different screens coming together. And because of that unprofessional things, that's why that thing is happening. That is the reason, right? It's another layer in that 3D environment they're trying to create.
The same technique we did earlier where I have my 360 footage, and if I want to rotate it, I went ahead and duplicated that copy and parented it to a null right in the center of where the camera rig is and rotated it from there. That way when I do this and I rotate it, it again is facing forward toward the camera rig. You always want to make sure your 2D layers are facing toward your 360 camera rig. All right, so now we can see this. This looks really cool, and we have a little more details in here, so it's a lot easier to make out what's happening. So we've got our back walls and everything here, and I can go ahead and...
So when Kevin said it's the fourth wall, he just said like this, but maybe he was right. It was the fourth wall of the Skybox studio.
RAM preview a little bit of this. All right, so here's just a quick RAM preview of this scene. You can see I've added a distortion on one of the walls. I got some text animating around the 3D space. I've got this cool clip of like an electric energy burst that I had coming toward the camera. And then I just went ahead and used the CC card wipe effect on this second clip of me and on this wall. So you can do some cool tricks with the standard 2D effects, but on your 3D layers in After Effects in your scene.
So this is the thing, right? You can use every part of that box as an individual screen, and you can add yourself or any other background or anything you want in it.
Let's go ahead and take a quick look at this in the viewer. So I'll just come over here and you can see, I'm just going to use the camera to navigate around this scene. I'm just going to move the time indicator through time here so you can kind of get an idea of stuff that's happening in the scene.
And could be that it could have been done in this way. That's why that anomaly came. Not because there was a stitch of a 360 camera going all the way around. You see the corner of the walls. Don't it look like the same anomaly? Or I'm making things up?
And something else that's really cool, if you do a box style format like this, I noticed they also did this in the Duran Duran video. But if you'll notice, we get a little bit of like ambient occlusion up here in the top corners, and that's a really easy effect to create. I'll just go ahead and jump back to that box scene and show you how that was done. So we're now looking back at this in the custom view. And so essentially what we have, each one of these walls is its own composition. So I'm just going to select one of them here. I'll select this back wall, and you can see it's been pre-composed. So I'm just going to double click it. And if you want to get that ambient occlusion effect, it's really easy to do. All you need to do is right click and add a new solid, and you need it to be black. And all you need to do is come up here to the mask tool and use the ellipse tool and just double click it. We're going to create a circle, and we're going to come down here and subtract it. And so now you can see it's just highlighting around the corner. So all we need to do now is feather that out and kind of work with the opacity. So I'm just going to open up the mask options, increase the feather quite a bit, and I'm going to go ahead and use the mask expansion here to bring it back toward the corners. So you just need a little subtle darkness around the corners, and that'll create that ambient occlusion look that we're getting when we look at this in the viewer up here. So that's pretty cool. All right, guys, hopefully you're still staying with me on this. Now let's go ahead and look at some cooler examples.
So here he's saying, Dr. Bash is saying, I like how you may be saying maybe, yeah, because there is various things. There is various things. That is the reason, right? The main anomaly is that what we are trying to show here with the box, what happened, right? These people are very unprofessional. That's why they got caught. They want us to believe it's a 360 cut. It's not like that.
We're actually using 3D plugins in conjunction with this effect. So let's go ahead and look at the custom camera view of this scene. What I've got here is a 3D scene that I built using Element 3D, and I did that in conjunction with using my keyed out green screen footage, and then I went ahead and ran the Skybox Creator script, so it creates a...
You can put everything you could imagine in this virtual reality game. This is the thing. These people went there to create a virtual reality shit. That is the reason. They didn't go to do science there.
virtual 360 camera rig in the scene. So let's go ahead and look at the output of this shot. So now you can see what a cool effect this gives us. I've got a full equirectangular image of this scene. And again, the 3D background was done with Element 3D. I've got my just regular 2D keyed out footage here. And this was all created using the Skybox Creator script. And so you can see using this technique gives us a lot more immersive experience. And just the overall 360 video is going to look a lot better.
So more or less, yes, this is the
So let's go
thing,
ahead and look at the viewer of this scene.
right?
So
What
I'll
is
click
the
on that. You can see
possibilities?
there's me on the green.
What is the possibilities of different technologies? After Effects, Skybox Studio, right? Green screen, many things is happening. That is why these anomalies are happening. If it's fake, it's gonna show up, right? This is just what a guy on a computer can do, right? That you can even literally just take a video and make it into a 360.
To only be accepting shadows, I can get the shadows to fall from this other 3D layer onto it. So it makes it look like the shadows are falling on top of the building. And in this case, it'll take a little bit of finessing to position your footage just right, so you'll kind of have to trial and error when you do it, but you can see I just kind of position myself on top of this building, and you can look at it from different...
You see how he's trying to add in that 3D environment his own layer of himself. So anything could be added in that created environment, or through a studio or whatever it is, through projection screen. But the anomaly is happening because of this, right? Because there's a projection that is happening that is not real, and that is supposed to be the Mount Ross, because that's the only landmark is there to say that they were in Antarctica or in the same place. The rest is only ice and small mountains, nothing noticeable.
perspectives to make sure it lines up correctly. It will take a little bit of finessing, but it doesn't take too long. It's just because these plugins are working in their own 3D spaces, sometimes you can get some issues with overlapping where it doesn't quite look right. So let's go ahead and look at the equirectangular output from this scene.
Exactly. It's a problem of overlapping because these people are unprofessionals.
Zoom in here on the output, and this is really cool. One thing to keep in mind when you're adding yourself into footage like this, make sure you do the same color grade on your footage that matches everything else in your scene, which is what I did here. And I kind of added like a light wrap around my footage to simulate the sun coming from my back, which again is why I also added the shadow in front of me right there to kind of go along with everything else in the scene. It'll just make it a lot more convincing. So let's go ahead and jump into the Skybox viewer and look at this scene. All right, so now we're looking at this in the viewer. I'm just going to navigate around. You can see this is really cool, and it's pretty convincing. If you need to composite footage here, so again, that looks like I'm actually in this 3D space.
Exactly. When it's moving, that they're trying to show that is the reason that screen is coming out, because it's not in the same overlapping problem, movement problem.
No, I'm just a 2D clip. And so you can see how this could be a really cool 360 video. All right, so let's go ahead and look at one more example I think you guys are really going to enjoy. And this is doing the same technique. This is replicating the stockroom scene from The Matrix. I don't know if you remember the scene where they're in the complete white room and they ask for some weapons and just rows and rows of weapons come into the scene. Well, we can do that same technique here. So I've got my footage, I'm on the green screen again. And if I just move through here in time, you can see I've animated some weapons coming into the 3D space using Element 3D, again in conjunction with Metal Skybox. Let's go ahead and take a look at the custom camera view here. And you can't see the floor because the entire background was white. But you can see there I am standing between all the rows and rows of, in this case, are missiles and bombs. But one thing to keep in mind, because these are in different 3D spaces, I don't want any of the weapons to actually come in front of me. You can see here that breaks the illusion because that layer is actually in front of the element layer. But because these weapons are coming from the back and kind of crossing off to the sides, in this case, it works just fine. And I'll just zoom out here so you can see where the rig is. And so you can see I've got the Metal Skybox camera rig right here in between the weapons as well. So that way they don't actually pass through the rig, which would create some artifacts we don't want. So let's go ahead and look at the equirectangular output of this. It's really cool. So you can see there I am standing in the center, and the weapons, because they're going past the camera, you can see they wrap around and continue on backwards. And let's go ahead and look at this in the Skybox viewer. All right, now you can see what a cool effect this gives off. You can see all the weapons just fly past the camera, coming in at extreme speed. And now if I just click here, I'm going to click and let's look.
You see that? He almost made like a Matrix movie on a computer. Yeah. So you imagine, like if you pay a little bit, how much editing effect you can get, right? I think I'm enough of this. So before we continue, guys, any thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple thoughts. Faker than the moon landing, faker than rover on Mars, faker than the Tesla in space. It's fake as hell. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, Keith, this is like a modern day moon landing. I wonder what the controversy was during those times. You know, if it was anything like this between, like, you know, the workspace, people were like, "No way, they landed on the moon." And other people were like, "Oh yeah, it was on TV." You know?
This is worse than the moon landing. Yeah.
A lot bigger.
Because why am I saying that? Because globers are also played in this. Globers are also being played. They are so happy that they have their globe proof, but they don't understand the bigger picture, right? This is just for starters, guys. This is just starters, right? We are going with the flow. There's more than. Yeah, go ahead, Gene.
I don't know if everybody else had an audio problem right there, but I didn't hear anything you said, bro.
Oh yeah, Sam, did you hear me? Keith?
I heard you. I heard everything.
Yeah, I heard you, Vikka. Yes.
Yeah. So because as I said, the rabbit hole is not only going deep; it's going in every direction, and it's mind blowing. That's why I'm saying this is only the starters, going with the flow, but there's more than evidence that this thing have been faked. So the people who are blindly coming up and defending these people about that not being fake, right? Last week we did this. I shared what I had to share. What was the problem? And more things came up. What more possibilities came up of what could be happening. A big shout out to Zetetic Backup Channel, my brother. Zetetic, there's a link up there. Would love to have you here to have a chat. People do follow or subscribe to my brother Zetetic, one of the people of the early flat earthers I know. So yeah, it would be great to have you here, brother. Real truthers from very long time. Oh yeah, seeing many shit happening in this community. So guys, the link is there on the chat on the top. Come and say hello, right? So this is what I wanted to share about the last week stuff, because stop freaking 360 stitch. This has nothing to do with the 360 stitch. The 360 stitch is totally independent of what we are showing you, because that right angle turn shows that it's a different environment. It's a different projection. So the thing is, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, G.
He's not here right now.
He's there. He's there.
I was going to
He's
ask
listening.
Keith something. Nah, wait till he comes up. I want to ask him something.
Go ahead. He's there.
Keith.
Yeah.
Did you talk to Austin at all when we were in Tennessee? How much conversation did you have with him during that?
In Tennessee, not much. You know, we spoke at the Truth and Freedom Conference. Joe Hanvey was speaking. I was speaking. Austin was there. Matt Long was there. Flat Earth was there. And I talked to Austin a little bit then. And even back then, I was like, Austin, why are you and Jaren hosting all of these anti-flat earthers and doing debates with them? We've already debunked all of their points 1,000 times, and you're allowing them to
debates are like.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So again, that's why I think Jaren flipped, because probably the super chats and the money he was getting was coming more from the Globers than the flat earthers, is my guess. So he's like, oh, I can make money going to the Globe. So, but yeah, I had problems with Austin and Jaren even a year ago. Well, not a year, but almost a year, maybe 10 months ago, I think is when we spoke at that event. But again, I'm not throwing Austin under the bus, not yet. I'm still hoping he's going to come out stronger than ever. So, time will tell. We'll see. Now, somebody in the chat was just asking, so is the question that it was a bunch of globe trolls down there doing all this and they're not real good? Or is it maybe the powers that be above the globe trolls? Now, I'm just going to share my opinion. I think Will Duffy and all of the Globe Zealots from YouTube are all puppets. I don't think that this was their idea. I think they're being used by the powers that be. So that's my belief or opinion. And again, every time I say something like this, I reserve the right to change my opinion as more information comes in, because it seems like week after week, more information does come in. So we're figuring it out.
If it's fake,
Right.
whoever was involved is a fake, right? So at least that it serves to the people, right? If we all are seeing that the fakery is going on, right, left and above and below, what is there? What is there to even look and see, right? In reality, what options have we got to say we would give them a chance? Because the fakery is going on, everybody involved is fake. That's how it goes. Sorry to be direct, right? That's gatekeeping. That's taking the people in the wrong way, in the wrong direction. So if the people who are following Jaren all this year were in the wrong direction, and the people aren't going to wake up, so the same thing is going to happen with Austin. Maybe in the next one, he's going to be the main protagonist, right? Or maybe somebody else who's already been prepared for the next hit piece of flat earth to maybe go to a space. They will do the same shit. Take them in a studio. The flat earth is going to be sold, and again, flat earther debunks itself. For sure, cannot be Jaren because he's already a glober, right? Who is the candidate?
There's a worst scenario that can happen. Don't want to think about it, but it's possible. When these people are gonna realize that everything they tried, to stop us, didn't work. So what they gonna do next? What's next? Like, okay, they faked everything. What's next? I believe that, again, if I was instead of them, I would try to demonize the flat Earth movement in a way that I would like to make it illegal. You can have like false flag operations. You can have like false flag, a murder, and then you're gonna have a guy like murdering some glober, and he's gonna say, okay, I was a flat earther and I believe in flat earth. You don't know what's gonna be next. You don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe you're gonna find out that Jaron's gonna die, and then they're gonna say, okay, the flat earth people just killed them, and now the flat earth movement is dangerous. We have to make it illegal. It's possible. Everything is possible with those people. Because again, what's
Can't
next?
rule it out.
Can't
rule it out, Sam.
Of course.
That's crazy, but
Joe, but Banjo was mentioning that the Portuguese guy is missing already. Didn't you hear Banjo saying that?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
Now Banjo's on after us tonight. He's got a live starting up here, I think 6:00 Eastern or something. But yeah, I want to hear what else he has to say. He's been on it from get-go. He called out Jaren months ago and said Jaren's going to flip and he's going to become a glober after he goes down there. That's exactly what has happened.
Yeah, it was right all the way.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Eddie jumped to a conclusion on a couple things like a lot of people did. I think I did too until I started going out and testing the shadows myself. Even the thing of the sun disappearing behind the poles. Anthony Bear and I are trying to figure that out. It seems like with your naked eye that doesn't happen. But when you use some optical equipment or a camera, it seems like the sun can disappear behind a little tree or a pole. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that might have a natural explanation, but there's so many other things that it just still points to the fakery.
Of course. Well,
Hey, Keith. I mean,
Yeah.
I know it was a long time ago, but do you happen to remember talking to Austin at all about the mechanical realm when you were in Tennessee?
No,
we went there to promote it. It was kind of not a huge deal, but it was a buzz in the crowd from what I remember.
yeah. No, it was.
Just.
I did hear Austin bring up and use the mechanical realm as something he was recommending during a couple of interviews, right when it had come out. And then I didn't hear him or Jaren, and even somebody said, "Hey, Jaren, did you see it?" He goes, "Yeah, I saw it. It was good." And that's all he said. He didn't say anything else.
Yep.
So, Austin used it a couple times, saying people should go watch it, and then I never heard him say anything about it again. I mean, a lot of people community still haven't seen the mechanical realm. So if you're listening, go check it out. That talks about the perfect repeating cycles of everything up there in the sky, and the sun and everything else goes around our magnetic center over our surface. And this has been well known and documented for thousands of years. There's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
Of course not. It cannot be.
Yeah, there's so much happening there when the people realize, man, it's like, yeah, globers and flat earthers, a mind gonna be blown. Yeah, we are on it. We are gonna be on it, right? Because that's the reason it's was supposed to happen, right? So I'll
Well,
say it again. I'll say it again to the people, right? I don't know about the people taking out different things and different gates and everything, right? For us, it happened with the smudge gate and the stitch gate, and I have given my explanation here, what is happening, what could be happening, but that doesn't mean that's it's over and we're gonna just bury it and that's over. More evidence comes out, we're gonna bring it back. So, yeah, go ahead. Anybody wants to add something?
just to say something that as soon as people are going to realize, all the fakery and how much has been invested also in order to to fake this whole thing, I believe they should realize how important we are, how important is flat earth. I don't know if they realize it, what's at stakes. It's not just like about the shape of the earth. It's much it goes way beyond that. Because if you have in front of you an enemy that spends like billions, trillions of of dollars in order to prove you wrong, and that's obsessed to prove you wrong, something is going on. It's not just about the shape of the earth. It goes way beyond that. That's what we have to understand, that that flat earth thing is much more important than what most flat earthers think. I believe, and that's what they have to start to realize, that they're in the middle of something huge, something big. And well, see what happens. But I believe that this is what they have to realize in order to understand all that, because that's not normal.
Yeah, it's a big psyop. It's a big psyop, because the algorithms are not gonna show you what Will Duffy is really. Will Duffy will be shown as a savior of globers, because that's what they want us to see. Right?
People
Go and try
live
to
in
look for the Will Duffy's background. You're not gonna find it.
They live in a wet dream. Those people, they're like degenerates. They're crazy. I don't know what they expect. I don't know how they think, but they don't think like us. And that's what's hard for us to figure out, because we have to think like them. We have to think to penetrate their degenerate minds, and that's not easy, because they're not normal people. They're not normal.
Zetetic in the chats just reminded me that he's right, though. There's no one in history ever mentioned it in their exploration.
Never.
As far as I know.
Of course.
But that's a good
Oh
one.
yeah,
Thanks.
Zetetic lives in Norway almost. It's almost near the North Pole. For sure. Hey RG, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Uh,
Good to see you.
Just chilling, man. Hope y'all are doing good too, man.
Yeah,
I was just flipping through, man, and I've been trying to catch Vikka, and Gene a little more on a normal basis, just to kind of keep up with things. I was big into the movement, man, for the first 8 years or so, 7-8 years, and just here lately, man, had a lot going on with my personal life, but yeah, I want to keep up, and I seen the 360 video you guys kind of broke down. Excuse me, man, I'm probably making a lot of noise, but I was watching the video and watching the mountain kind of glitch up and down, and I seen the scene, and I just wanted to say, while they were down there, I was checking out all these other all these bases around Antarctica, and their 360 videos too. I don't know if y'all have really checked those out yet, but it's one of those versions to where you can move your phone up or down, left or right, on your cell phone, and it'll follow the sun, or you can do the opposite. You can go and watch everywhere else while the sun goes around the back of you. And New Zealand, I just want to mention New Zealand because they have this like mushroom looking, like a tall looking stand, right in front of you when the video starts. So when the sun is going around, the shadow you can see on the ground, and you can follow the shadow as well, which is genius. I think everyone should do that on their versions. But you can go around Antarctica and check different stations, and they all have 360 videos. So the one that I watched and really studied a lot on was 2022 in New Zealand. So I just wanted to mention that, man, and y'all check them out. Like I say, you just type it in, man, Google, and it'll take you to the station.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff, bro. A lot of stuff there to look into, research, and these people should have done before these people went, right or wrong.
No, that's right. You don't want to jump to conclusions too much as soon as they get back. But yeah, there are some things, man, that didn't really add up to me. I mean, there were, I don't want to really get into it deep, but maybe offline, and I can kind of point out some things. But yeah, you're right. I mean, but yeah, there's a lot of other things to look into as well, not just Union Glacier.
Oh yeah, we all know it's a psyop, right? Even Dave Weiss is saying that it's a psyop, right? Dave, come and tell us, the people, what are you waiting for? What you told us already on here in few weeks back, that's a psyop. There's something happening. Come and say to the people what is happening, right? We are saying that no one is right or wrong, right? But it's time so that the people listen, right? I might think you are onto something, but even I could say that maybe you are looking in the wrong direction also, right? So I wanted to share something more. This is the reason that I'm saying that this anomaly thing, what we shared last week and this year, that doesn't mean it's over. As things come out, we will get back to it. So whatever the people have shared before, the people are looking into it, everything can be looked back. This is the reason these people are trying to create confusion, that we don't go back and look at the things again. Or when the things come out, we are going in more deeper. Right? So I'm going to share something now. Right? Take what you can, what you think. Because we're going to be looking again and again and again. Because we have already seen the fakery.
Yeah, and thank you, man, for keeping that spirit. When you're passionate, and nobody can tell you different. So I appreciate your passion, man.
That makes
This is the thing, brother. You were here with us on the podcast. We were very open. We had everybody. We had Johan. We had Steven Alonso. We had everybody else speaking about this whole experiment and all the possibilities of the 24-hour sun. Right? And then what happens? How the things evolve. One thing, two things, three things you can avoid. Fourth thing, you can just look away. But the things don't stop.
Yeah, I was going to say it didn't seem to go as smooth as I thought it would go. When they went down there and came back, did seem to be a lot of gaps in information and weird timing. Maybe I'm not saying anything at the moment because I'm still kind of looking into it myself. So yeah, I just want to come on, man, and check out what you're talking about, bro. So I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, if we have eyes to see, you're gonna see it's a fakery, totally fakery. What I'm gonna share right now, The people with cognitive dissonance are going to continue with their bullshit because they are blindly following. But if you have the eyes to see, you're going to see the fakery, right? For example, in this photo only, you see the shadows, how it's going in two different directions, right? Being right there.
The thing is that, I'm listening to what you're saying, that we have to see the fakery. I believe we saw the fakery. I believe we saw enough. It's enough for me. I don't need more. But the thing
but
is,
it's for the
again,
people.
I know. But the thing is that, besides seeing the fakery, I believe also we have to understand the fakery. Why the fakery? What's the point? Because they knew they were going to get caught. They're not that stupid. I don't believe so. It's like NASA. NASA makes a lot of mistakes. They're not stupid, but they're making mistakes. They don't care about their mistakes. So what's the point? What's the war?
But this is not NASA. This is not NASA. But they're going to get screwed. They're going to be screwed playing around with the community, right? Maybe Darren, no, but maybe Austin, maybe, because he's still trying to imitate being a flat earther, right? If he was part of this fakery, he's a fake. I'm going to call it out. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, but
because if we were very neutral, and now things are coming out, that is a fakery. And I'm not saying that this is the best I've got and I'm calling it out. No, this is just the starters.
Yeah, right.
We're going to have main meals and we're going to have desserts.
Exactly. That's why, that's a good point, Vikka, because that's why I wanted to wait, because things are still going to unfold. And I think this approach is a lot more fun than just jumping all over things.
100%, Vikka, and you might be right. So time will tell. This is just the appetizer. The main course hasn't even been served yet.
I can say one thing. I was outside last week. It was probably 20, 25 degrees. It was pretty cold. It was like a bitter cold, real. And I could not see my breath. So there's definitely times, and I'm not sure really when and why, but there are times when it's under 32 degrees and you can't see your breath.
Did you have your sunglasses on? Just kidding. But
it's a moisture thing. Humidity kind of thing adds into that.
Well, I always thought it was the moisture from the air in your lungs coming out. That's what I always thought. And then the air kind of freezes it up and it dissipates, entropy. That was what I always thought it was.
What I'm going to play next is really important too, right? It's not very long, but if you guys want, I'm going to play it again. But but keep an eye.
Yeah.
You cannot just let things slip off. This is also that they want. Because everything that you will look into again, you're going to find in the shadows, in everything. In everything. Because it's fake.
You suspect. The other topic is about the chroma key topic. Many people saying that they use the green screen, where everybody saw the pocket where Duffy said that because of the StreamYard, green screen was on. The problem with the pocket is they are saying what they have taken out. They were not using green screen, they were using the chroma. They have taken out a color to edit it. That color is the same like the pocket. The sky blue and the pocket of the blue is the same thing. What it means that they have edited the sky and they forgot to take out the blue from the pocket of Mr. Jonathan. We're gonna try to do this here. I'm gonna take the same color as the pocket, I'm gonna apply, and what's gonna disappear is the sky. Apart from there, I can put any background above the sky, on the sky part. The sky has been edited. That's just 1 + 1, right? Utilize the chroma key, applying the color of the pocket. You can see that that's the color they have took for the sky. You can see that what is edited is the sky. There's nothing more to that. Anybody can do that by themselves. Anybody who knows to use the chroma or take the color of the pocket, and you can see that that's been edited. The worst of all, that they are lying. They show us a green bottle. They have not eliminated the green. They have eliminated the blue, the celestial blue. The green is a toy for kids. They are literally lying to you. Not they made the mistake and that they took that color and later they edited without, just the error. No, they're lying and they're saying, look at the green bottle. That's now that the feature is not on. They are not using the chroma key under green color.
They are using the chroma key under blue color. That's why they fucked it up, right? Because inside, in the cabin, on the scale, it became, because it was blue, it was green, all right? But here is the problem is the sky is the same color. So if you see it again, taking the same color right there from the pocket and making it less transparent, and the sky also goes transparent. Watch again.
Yes, my friend. And after seeing all this, one is going to ask, are they in Antarctica? Are they in studio? Looks like combination of many things. That makes you...
I'll play it again if people didn't catch it.
Suspect. The other topic is about the chroma key topic. Many people saying that they use the green screen, where everybody saw the pocket where Duffy said that because of the StreamYard, green screen was on. The problem with the pocket is they are saying what they have taken out. They were not using green screen, they were using the chroma. They have taken out a color to edit it. That color is the same like the pocket. The sky blue and the pocket of the blue is the same thing. What it means that they have edited the sky and they forgot to take out the blue from the pocket of Mr. Jonathan. We're gonna try to do this here. I'm gonna take the same color as the pocket.
You see, when you take the color of the pocket and you change the level, the background becomes transparent because it's, again. Oh yeah, bring it on, people, bring it on.
I'm gonna apply, and what's gonna disappear is the sky. Apart from there, I can put any background above the sky, on the sky part. The sky has been edited. That's just 1 + 1, all right? Utilize the chroma key, applying the color of the pocket. You can see that that's the color they have took for the sky. You can see that what is edited is the sky. There's nothing more to that. Anybody can do that by themselves. Anybody who knows to use the chroma or take the color of the pocket, and you can see that that's been edited. The worst of all, that they are lying. They show us a green bottle. They have not eliminated the green. They have eliminated the blue, the celestial blue. The green is a toy for kids. They are literally lying to you. Not they made the mistake and that they took that color and later they edited without, just the error. No, they're lying and they're saying, look at the green bottle. That's now that the feature is not on. They are not using the chroma key under green color.
They're using it under blue.
Yes, my friend. And after seeing all this,
blue.
One is gonna ask, are they in Antarctica? Are they in studio? Looks like combination of many things.
So the people were fast in explaining away what was the green screen glitch and blah blah blah, right? But what happened? Yeah, when you dissect, yeah. So many things is gonna be coming back.
So let me get this straight. I'm not familiar with the software and everything that side of it, but I do see that the colors are almost the same. So anything that is edited, say in the background, is going to automatically connect to the very close color in the foreground. Is that the way it works?
Oh yeah, because the same thing you could see when it's happening when he comes out from the cabin. You see, there's a black effect. Yeah, that's the same thing is happening because his blue jacket becomes light blue because of the whatever light is coming on the top, right? So the same thing, it's creating that celestial blue.
Okay.
This is where they got screwed up, but
Yeah. And you know, man, I do have an opinion. I was wanting to kind of hold it, but you know, is it a possibility? Do you think that these guys just kind of got flat earthers got drug into the mix of maybe they were expecting something and got drug into something else? Does
Yeah,
anyone else have that kind of opinion? Maybe.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I don't want to defend somebody that's done wrong, but I mean, I can't. Maybe maybe I'm having cognitive dissonance. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to see some people that I've, kind of grown kind of close to, I guess, over the years, and learn from. But that does, I mean, if they're fucking with us, man, then that would trump anything I've ever learned from them. You know what I mean? I would be pretty pissed if I found out. Yeah.
don't wait for apocalypse, my brother. If you have what you feel like you resonate with, say it. We
Yeah,
don't. It's not. Don't have to be like you have to say, "Oh yeah, this is it," because you're here. Say what you feel, right? So we are trying to show what it is. Now people make up their mind. They want to come out and just blindly believe the people. No, no, this is all true. Even though this whole datas have become their own demise, right? In a way, of their whole TFE agenda is gone down the drain because the same evidence and data is being used and dissected and is showing what is the problem.
Yeah. Now that I'm seeing the way this works, this software, and plus something was in the back of my mind about, how Jaron and Austin didn't want to be a part of, like in the pictures, they were specifically saying, "Don't put me in your video. If you make a documentary or a video, don't put me in there." Right now, what if these guys were in a studio? All these Glober people, right? What if they were in the studio? Because I don't really see. In some of these shots, I don't really see like they could have made it look almost exactly like Antarctica in a studio, right? And filmed two separate times and
Of
just
course.
drug Austin and Darren down to the real Antarctica. Possibly.
Of course.
Now that's kind of
sure.
what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I have to go. I have a podcast with Benjo in like 2 hours. I'm like dead tired. I have to catch a couple of hours sleep. Good
Right.
job. Good
Hey,
podcast
Sam,
as
good to
always.
see you, bro.
Take it easy.
Oh yeah.
Have
Thanks,
a good
Sam.
podcast, man.
But yeah, Gene, what do you think about that? I mean, we can continue. I just wanted to kind of put that out there.
No, I definitely
Yeah.
think it's a possibility of a mixture of a few different locations and effects. And I haven't even thought of till a couple days ago, but maybe this could be a little Project Bluebeam involved also. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that, but I wouldn't rule that out. They're trying this on a bigger, or a more separate scale. It's a big scale though too. So I don't
Yeah.
know, man. It's just so much in the air, so much to think
Yeah.
about, and I'm not too sure about any of it.
I
And
know, right?
I'm okay there. So yeah, but you know what, bro? don't. If I could
Yeah.
offer anything about what you said about getting mad at these guys for being in on it and traders or whatever, don't. But like Vika said, man, take the good that you got out of it, and dump the rest, man. Don't carry that stuff with you and have animosity or remorse or anything, because you know they maybe they did teach you things that you can carry with you and use the strong points for it, bro.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
tough,
That's, I mean,
it's a tough pill to swallow, though. You know, that's why part of my hesitation to jump on any side was the depth of it
yeah.
is pretty immense and it's hard, bro. So, you know, don't,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
man.
they did you know, make an announcement like a year before they went. So it was a lot of time to, you know, go places and do things on their side if they, you know, on you know, I mean, they may have had unlimited budget, you know, through the Masons or some shit, you know.
Yeah.
But
Rock,
in,
so, rock, Rock Solid is asking me if I'm here to muddy the waters. Why do you say that? Come on up and ask me that. I ain't trying to muddy the waters. I'm trying to be objective and not jump on any side, though. This is pretty fake, though. And Dr. Frankenstein brought up something else also. To look at the reflection in the bottle and his sunglasses is kind of just something to pay attention to. It looks really kind of strange. It's a little off looking. It's tough to make out what that reflection is or what's showing through it. Is that a shadow showing through it? Or is there a reflection of the bottle? What is that?
I don't know, but I don't see his glove through the water of the bottle. He's got a black glove, and it looks like a straight black line going down instead of like seeing his finger. Maybe it is glove. I don't know, but that's kind of what I see.
It's just kind of weird looking. Yo,
Yeah,
guys, I'm not trying to muddy the waters. I'm trying to look at this objectively and ask good questions and really be solid in any convictions I got. So don't take my word for anything anyway, right? And I don't think anybody really does. So I want
yeah,
to
truth
always
is truth.
call in unity or some shit. Dude. Why not call for unity, bro? What are you calling for? Division? Telling me I'm always calling for unity. Yeah, that's right. I don't see a problem with that. And I'm not like
Yeah,
willing to stand against unity either. When everybody last week and the week before was saying, "Oh, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake," I wasn't ready to say that yet. So
right. Yeah, it took me a little bit too, man. I haven't had a chance to really look through everything myself. So I'm glad y'all are the ones, you know, presenting like this, because it does give people an opportunity to make up their own mind. You know, I know I can't convince anyone. I'm just a guy, just a regular old dude, man. So that's why was saying too, just out of respect for this channel, like I don't want to get like blurt out like stuff. So that's, you know, that could cause division. So I'm just, you know, just in it for the ride, man, for the moment. So I appreciate y'all.
same here, man.
Oh yeah, so
Same here.
there is a simple thing, guys, that this is anybody can go dissect themselves if they understand a little bit. You can go take the image, put it in there, copy the shade of there, and try to do the levels, and everything is changing because it's the same thing. The whole chroma key sky, right? So yeah, as you say, it's there for the people to make up their own mind, right? So we are maybe playing devil's advocate right now, but we have no choice left, right? So we, as I say, that we were very open for everything, but the fakery just doesn't stop, right? So yeah, I think this is what I have for today. For sure, I could go on for more things, but I'll leave it for there today of sharing. For sure, it's not the end of this, right? More things are gonna come out, so we're gonna share more things. But yeah, The fakery is non-stop. I
Yeah,
already
right on,
shared.
brother. And
I,
you know, Vika, just to say, man, you've got the knowledge of the computer and the software, and you know, you're more skilled at this, right, than most people. They might not have any knowledge of, you know, like you do. So it's people should look at it as a benefit, you know, to this trying to figure things out. You know, if there are things that stand out already, then there's bound to be more, you know. So I appreciate it, man. I just want to say thank you straight up, man. And I don't really care what other people say, man. And it's good that we have someone that's, you know, willing to stand up with this knowledge and go through it, you know, like this. So thanks, man.
oh yeah, brother, I'm not making shit up. Look there, he's right there, right? A time lapse next to the fake time lapse. See how the shadow moves. See how the light attenuation happens. See how the hot spots. I'm not making shit up. Whatever I'm showing is not I'm making things up so that the people have to understand that it's just simple things that just gives it away that it's fake. You don't have to be a genius or intelligent to see that it's fake. You see how the shadows are moving on the mountain, on the ground, and the hot spots.
And the clouds and the
Yeah.
colors.
The reason is this because they wanted to keep so pristine because the cloud is going to give it up. Because imagine if cloud would give up, the shadow would give up, everything would give up, they would be get screwed.
The
That's why they
brightness
thought they
would give
could.
up, right?
Yeah.
All of that, bro. Yeah, all of it. Wow, look at the
Yeah,
stark
and
difference
how
between these two.
yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Gene. It's night and day, brother. Especially, and I'm
It
sure
really is.
that these are like super similar latitudes, you know. And yeah, damn, that's that left one's the real deal, bro. That's the real deal.
This is rough. You know what? Look at the smallest shadows in the little cracks right there in the center. Like they don't look like they move as much as the ones on the tripod. Those shadows in those little that big dent right there. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be moving as much as it could be.
So during this podcast,
I
this
don't know.
video have got more than 7,000 views. Was 23,000 when we started the podcast, and right now it has 30,000 views on my Facebook page, spreading like a wildfire. It's nothing. Don't have to be a genius. It's right there. I didn't got it from my pocket. Wake the hell up, people. Open your freaking eyes. Don't just take everything for the face value because some people woke up. That is the reason. That's how they grift. Yeah, 30,000. It's not even 12 hours,
Yeah,
eight
that's amazing, man.
hours, 30,000
Yeah,
in 8 hours. Yeah, let's see
that's
how
awesome.
far it goes in 24 hours. These people deserve this.
Yeah, yeah. And let me say this before I jump off, man, if you don't mind. I just, you know, our creator has proof right in front of us. The way our eyes work, the firmament, the way the sun shines. You know, like you said, the shadows, the mountains. It's not going to be swept under the table. If there's something wrong, it will be brought to light for sure. It says that in the Bible. So people don't get it mistaken. Yeah. I just want to say that, man. Just if there's something to say, man, and somebody did something wrong or went about maybe did the dance with the devil, man, hey, just come out and say it, bro. It's easier that way. I've always been taught or get my ass whooped as a kid if I didn't tell the truth. So, but anyway, I'm not trying to make a joke, but yeah, just know that their creator has a way of getting the truth out. So yeah.
Awesome, RG. That's great. It's true though. This is about hiding the creator from us and being the center of attention here in this little place we got, and the people that don't want to help us take care of it. Hey,
Yeah,
guys,
the creator created this place, man, and it's not something to lie about. You know, I see that as super disingenuous, man. Just I don't know what it was about, but I feel as if something's off, like pretty big. So anyway,
Oh,
I'm gonna cut it off there, man.
oh yeah.
I appreciate it.
I think, yeah, we have intuition, brother. We all people have intuition, right? And I think we all knew, many people of us knew, right? I think we all knew that Jaren is going to do this. He's going to come back also, right? But we were not saying it, right? Because we wanted to see, we wanted to give a chance, right? And we have given them the chance. What have they given us in a month, right? All from apart from the vacation video, where is the real data? You see on the left, there's a timestamp. There's everything. Where is your
Oh yeah,
timestamp? Where is your real data? No. Just keep people asking this bullshit, this, that, going here from there, and want to put it under the carpet. No. Let there be division. If this is called a division, let there be, right? And with the time, the wounds are going to be healed, and the people will see, right?
oh yeah. It's something. You know, I ain't mad at anybody. I'll tell you that. I'm an easygoing person, but I would be super disappointed if, you know, I mean, we all knew it, we all felt it. Will, you know, every truther in this fucking world that sat in front and talked to that liar knew what was going to happen. So, you know, it's not a surprise now to me, but if there were people representing us, or, you know, that say that they're for truth 100%, and they went down there and had their own equipment to document this event, and they did, and they're on the up and up, okay, cool. But there's something in between there that you can tell was stitched together, and doesn't look natural. And every time I'm looking right here at the screen, man, there's night and day between those two videos right there. So that's where I'll land it.
Yeah, brother. And this is the thing. This is not only the thing what I'm presenting. That's it. Why do you think I'm not waiting for more things to call this out? Because I have more than evidence that this thing is fake as shit. That's why I'm already calling them out. People can take their own freaking time. Do that, no problem. But I'm not just because, oh, I have this, so this is the thing. No. Wait, people are going to see. And simple things just burst their bubble. This whole psychological operation. Go ahead, Gene.
Vikka, I got a question, bro. On the video on the right of the alleged Antarctica video, yeah, that one. Does that camera follow the sun like perfectly left and right? Is it spinning perfectly?
No, it's a one spot time lapse. And it's worse. It's worse for these people, because these people are trying to move around 360. There should be more shadow phenomena happening. Totally going haywire, the shadow. That is the reason they don't have the shadow.
Not one single cloud.
And that is the reason also they don't have so much cloud, because it's going to give it away.
Yeah, the clouds would block out the color, and the consistency of the color is just really off. It's just like the one is a great. I think it's a good comparison. Somebody said in the chat it's not a good comparison because the one on the left isn't a moving camera. But I'm not sure if I agree with that, because just look at the two.
Yeah, so even if they think about the not moving camera, but if it's when it's in the front, when in the mountain, just compare that clip. Don't compare the whole 360 with this.
Right.
Just compare the part of the front. Right?
Right there. One still of it, just freeze frame, and that's it.
You know, when it's passing from over the mountain, just compare that clip.
Right there, bro. That mountain.
You see how the shadows are moving on the top of the mountain too. The angles changing of the sun. This is nothing. There's nothing happening there.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's freaking fake.
Yeah. It's too plain. It's too consistent.
Hey, is there any video footage that excuse me, that is where they're doing the time lapse and they zoom in on the sun with like a solar filter that you can see the sunspots? Is there any footage like that?
I'm not sure. I think I heard that they do have solar filtered sunspot videos, but I haven't seen any. Because they were talking about Austin from Melodome with his sunspots. He's done a lot of work on the sun. He's been filming the sun for like 2 years straight now, or something crazy. He's getting a lot of good stuff. Well, interesting stuff.
I got you.
That's
So yeah, that's what I've got for today, guys. We might have last thoughts, and yeah, we will start wrapping it up because we don't have a lot of callers today. People are being reserved. No problem. We will have more stuff for you to get more excited and come here and share it. So yeah, RG brother, any last thoughts?
Man, I just want to say, God bless you all, man. Everybody in the chat, anybody that's listening, man, that ever hears this, just don't forget, man, our creator is something a whole lot more than what it's presented as. Antarctica is tiny little flea in comparison to this creation, So, yeah, I think it'll all level out eventually, and whoever needs to be affected in a good way or bad way, it'll happen, so that's all, man. But appreciate you, Vikka and Gene, always, man. You guys are awesome, so keep it up.
Oh yeah, bro. Thanks for jumping by and with your additions. Awesome, brother. Always great to have you. And yep, Gene, brother.
Yeah. RG, good to have you, bro. I like how you talk, man. It is about the creator. And sometimes you kind of forget to mention that, because it's always great to be here with you guys for me. So
Gotcha, brother.
that's what it is. That's why, like Rob from Disorganized Production says, just skipping branches like a squirrel sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is. It's about hiding the creator and the wonderful creation. And it was also asked recently, what would I want out of all of this? And I would want the old world back. The communication between us and the plants and animals, and the spirit world to be much more clear than it is nowadays. I think that could have been possibly manipulated by these people, and probably even more than possibly into probably. So yeah, Vikka, that was some really great stuff you presented tonight, bro. I appreciate what you're doing there, buddy. I had a hard time with it, but I'm questioning myself on why I didn't want to let go of that. Is because I did. I had trust in these guys, and that's a bad move, and that's all right. I got over it. We all got room to move and grow, so that's what I'm here to do, guys. And I appreciate being here with all of you, everyone on the panel tonight. I like when you guys call in and give us different perspectives of things. It's fun to kind of analyze, do mental gymnastics and juggling to sort things out and come up with a real solid conclusion at the end. So, yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate everybody here. Aloha, RG, Sam. Sorry if I'm forgetting anybody. Everybody in the chat. You guys are the best. Like I said, don't forget, it's you guys are probably more than half. You know, we're each 100%. You know, so to split it is not fair. We couldn't do this without you guys, and I love hanging out with you guys. Some of you I know a little more on a personal level, and you know that I'm talking to you from my heart. And so this was a really big awakening. A lot of emotions tied to this, and Vikka, that was a great presentation, bro. I love it. Appreciate it, man, and thank you.
Oh yeah, be prepared for what's coming.
I'm ready, man. I am. I'm much more prepared to deal with it, you know, emotionally and mentally and in a tomorrow physical kind of way. You know, I'm like, wow, holy shit. These guys could possibly be from the ground, from the top down, and that's like a little startling, but that's okay. You know, we all know we're being watched, so so what? It doesn't curve to flat water. We all observe, right? So there's that.
Oh yeah,
Hey, if they're
brother.
watching me, man, I'm gonna give them that spiritual middle finger. Good day to y'all. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, because somebody was mentioning in the chat that we are stressed and all this. We are not stressed. We are freaking having a great time, right? Because this is the thing. I don't know about many people. I'm a Scorpio. Maybe even Gene might agree with me. He's a Scorpio. You know, one of the best professions the Scorpio can have is detective, and this is the whole project given to us here. So good luck, Jaren and Austin, on this fakery. We are just starting. Aloha, your turn, bro. Last thoughts.
Yeah, it's good to be here with you, Vikka, and everybody in the chat. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'll just say it like this. There is no 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Whatever they filmed was either fake or a slim chance that the Joe Hanvey model is real and that it was natural, but by the more and more evidence comes out, it seems artificial. So the path of the sun and the moon and the planets and the fixed constellations has been well known for thousands of years, and our observable objective reality does not permit a 24-hour sun around a small geographical location around an ice continent on the bottom of a spinning, tilting, wobbling space rock. All of the heliocentric hypothesis is lie upon lie upon lie, where the geocentric version of this world or this realm that we live in is true. So this is not just flat earth against the globe. This is geocentric truth versus the heliocentric lie and everything that goes with it. The heliocentric Big Bang gives birth to the globe. The globe is the baby of the Big Bang. And then you have evolution and dinosaurs, and then you have atheism. It's just lie upon lie upon lie. Whereas the geocentric truth is precept upon precept or truth upon truth. That this is an intelligently designed system. Our system is enclosed. Our system is electrical. This is an earth system. This is not a solar system that we live in. There is no solar system. Nothing is going around the sun. The sun is not the center of everything. Everything is going around the center of our flat and stationary earth. That's what we observe. That's what all the ancient cultures knew before us. That's what more and more people are waking up to today. It's not that we believe the earth is flat and stationary. We know the earth is flat and stationary. And ultimately, the heavenly luminaries are beautiful. They're a mystery in a lot of ways, but the path or the patterns of them are not a mystery. That's been well known, well documented for thousands of years. And I'll close with this, what that I started with. There is no 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Thanks, Vikka.
Well said, brother. So, oh yeah, they're gonna be having a very hard time to show a 24-hour sun circling where they said they were. Really, really hard time they're gonna have, right? That might be possible of a 24-hour daylight some days of the year in that part or some part of Antarctica. The Antarctica is not only where is Chile. Antarctica is every 360 around, and it's an open field. There's already exploration happening. There's so much more evidence that this is fakery, right? You guys see behind me? Yeah, we will get into it soon. We'll get into it soon. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Yeah, take what you think, leave what you don't think. We are trying to put everything out here. We are here to dismantle this fakery so that the people can separate the things and continue in the way and learn from it. In the end, we all are going to learn from it. There is so much to it. This whole shit is so much more beyond that we could imagine. Truth is stranger than fiction. I'm going to leave it to there, and I'm going to play my favorite song before I sign out. Do enjoy this song, guys. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Gene. Thank you, RG, Sam, and everybody who jumped here, and each and every one of you who was there in the chat. Stay tuned, stay connected. More is coming. And with that, this is Vikka Draziv signing out, guys. See you next week in the next episode of Heliopsychosis podcast. Check this song out, and we all are gonna be saying goodbye. Go ahead, guys.
Peace.
Nice, guys.
See y'all.
Bye.
I mean? Just around. It's the only way to go. Just around. You don't move on the scene. Just around. You can hold your life and see. Just around. You know what I mean? Just around. It's the only way to go. 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 Just around. It's the only way to go.
Trust me, bro.